Look, I'm telling you guys, it's awesome. Wherever I need a seat, I can just sit on my balls. Let me tell you something else. Chicks love them.
Women love huge balls.
Love them. I never knew how much women love guys' balls until I got these puppies.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show with Hot Wings.
If you were looking at them, does it like hang down one side?
Yeah, it's like a basketball and a baseball.
I just always thought everybody's nuts were like that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I mean, your pants and the doc goes, wow, look at your balls.
Did you ever say to a girl in college, hey, you're spending a lot of time exploring Jupiter, maybe give a check on Pluto?
I can't even remember the first girl that said anything.
I bet that was a bummer.
Yeah, I'm like, well, what do you mean?
It's like a jawbreaker and a baby. It's like a chiclet.
Did you know that your testes are fun size?
I had no idea.
Fun size ball.
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Good morning. It is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Freebeerandhotwings.com is the website. Idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. As always, to send the show an email. There's a video that I don't think we got a chance to talk about it on the air yesterday, but it's of a guy that was in the press box at a soccer stadium as a huge tornado was blowing through. Possibly the dumbest man in the world for being there, but I'm kind of thankful for it because we got this awesome footage of this tornado blowing through. So that's right in the slideshow at freebeerandhotwings.com. You need to check that out. Flashback comes up later on this hour. Classic producer Joe Stunt. Also, in the next segment, we'll talk about how Zane did a little bit of stalking last week. We'll start off the hour with a list we went over last week of all the reasons why flight attendants hate you.
Now, when we fly, sometimes I think it might be fair to say, not intentionally, but Joe sometimes has an adversarial relationship with the flight attendant, constantly trying to keep his computer on and
trying to fly by his own rules.
Sleep on the seats and tell him how the flaps are supposed to be on the wings so we don't crash. They're all things that might happen.
I forget how that ever resolved. Did we ever get... we've been back and forth on that issue so many times about the flaps. What was the last installment on that discussion?
Some people think that it's incredibly dangerous, like the pilot that was on that flight.
You and I had that connection with that pilot and that first mate, or whatever they call him.
But then we talked about it on the air, and we got a bunch of emails saying, I use them all the time in mid-flight. Always use
it
them.
allows you to slow down without changing the pitch of the airplane.
Joe, I'm on that whole discussion we had, the fact that we were right there, and we said, and we actually pointed. We said, these flaps, when should they be? And he gave us specifics. So I think
if you use that mid-flight, you're a bad pilot. You figure out a different way.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, Joe. Thank you for that.
All right.
Well, Yahoo did a survey of flight attendants to see what annoys them most.
About passengers.
Okay. Any guesses?
Let's see.
Know-it-alls that tell them how to fly the airplane.
They want a drink.
These are flight attendants, right?
Probably too specific, yeah.
Their elbows are always getting in the way of their asses.
Yeah. The narrow aisles where their hips constantly bump off the shoulders of patients.
People who keep their legs out.
Patients.
Yeah, you refer to the people on board as patients.
I don't think they're patients.
Did I say patients?
You did say that.
Patrons is
what did you say, Zane?
People who keep their legs out while because a lot of their job has to go up and down the aisle.
No, that's not on there. But do you think they ever smash into someone's leg on purpose with that cart?
Yes.
Because every once in a while I've heard.
I don't think they do it on purpose.
See, on purpose seems unlikely, but.
Unless someone was a real jerk.
Could you allow yourself to be oblivious without it being on purpose? Because there's sometimes where you see it and they just blast somebody. And I'm like, well, how did you not see that?
I think they do it on purpose sometimes. Yeah. I think if you just happen to be in the aisle with your leg, they won't. But I've seen it before where they ask somebody like 3 or 4 times, where they're walking up and down the aisles before they're even serving drinks, where it's like, sir, could you please put your foot?
Yeah, where they may even make an announcement.
And then they get lazy and flop their leg out there again, and so they're always kind of in the way. They get jacked on purpose.
All right, well, here are the 6 things they say are the most annoying. They said the average passenger who causes the fewest problems is male, in his 30s, and sits in economy. So,
okay.
Mostly us. The exception of Joe.
Yeah.
And you fit that demographically, but
close enough.
Shoving garbage in the seat pocket. Who has shoved garbage in the seat pocket? All of us?
Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Joe
it's
is the
there
only one who
for.
throws chewed gum in there, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, you leave the most actual
He
garbage.
actually opens the pouch and goes, "Hey, watch this." Thunk.
I think I've left a gum wrapper in there before. I'm not a garbage leaver on the plane.
Joe,
on the other hand,
Yeah.
you'll leave half a sandwich.
Absolutely.
Joe flies mad at the airline, even if they're on time and everything is smooth. Joe's mad at them.
Yeah, I am. I don't deny that.
Is it something you would try to change, or that's how it is? That's the cost of doing business with Joe.
Yeah.
garbage has got to go somewhere, right, Joe?
It does, absolutely.
They only walk
Zane knows
by
that.
20 times with their bag out.
Yeah.
Throw it anywhere. Doesn't matter.
Number 5, asking for extra blankets or pillows. Well, too bad. That's your job.
They
Get
don't
'em.
like that. They don't like that you ask for a pillow.
Well, how often can that happen?
I never ask for pillows or blankets.
I never see people asking for that stuff. I mean, it's got to be.
I didn't think they were available anymore. I thought they took them off the planes to save weight and save fuel.
I thought you had to pay for them now.
On overseas flights,
Yeah, I suppose.
they always give them to you.
Yeah, okay.
Number 4, talking through the safety demonstration. Really? You actually care? I can't believe they care. They are so going through the motions on that. They hate doing it as much as we hate hearing it over and over again.
Half the time, they don't even do it anymore. They just stand up there and show how the seatbelt works while the pre-recorded bit plays. They don't even talk.
Go through the over here.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I know. I can look where the doors are, and I know how my seatbelt works because I'm not dumb.
The third most annoying thing to flight attendants is trying to cram pieces of luggage that are too big into the overhead car.
Oh, that annoys me.
That annoys everybody. Every time you get on a flight, you'll be on one of those little commuter jets where the overhead bin is about 6 inches tall, and you see the one idiot who goes past everybody and says, "No, I am not going to put this bag on the ramp. I'm going to try to stick it in the overhead."
He's not going to get a pink tag, which
I'm not gonna.
It's going to cost him 2 minutes of time.
I'm just going to punch my backpack into this space.
Yeah. Mine fits.
No matter what.
Mine fits, and it always has fit. The problem we're talking about is somebody who's got something on wheels that's massively thick like a brick.
You can look at it and you go, it's just physically impossible. I don't care if you have the biggest, strongest human being on earth. They cannot punch that in there,
and it always
it explodes.
It always seems like it's a 79-year-old guy, too, who feebly attempts to lift it up over his shoulders. He doesn't have any strength whatsoever.
Can't even lift it to begin with.
It ends up resting on top of the seat so he can take a break, and then he can, "Someone help me." It's like, yeah, I'll help you. I'm going to throw you in that motor.
I always want him to get it in there and then not be able to get it out. The problem is, what annoys me as a traveler is someone that has a giant bag, can't fit it in where they're seated, and then they have to shove it in somewhere way behind them.
Yeah.
So rather than wait for everyone to get off, they go against the grain, against the flow of traffic, and make everyone else wait while they pull on their stupid bag.
Yeah.
Number 2, the thing that annoys flight attendants the most, scrambling to leave the plane before the seatbelt signs are off. Like the people who burst into the aisle before you're even at the gate.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. It's like,
Number 1,
where do you think you're going to go?
Most annoying thing to flight attendants.
Being late.
Nope.
No.
Snapping your fingers at them. That's annoying to anyone who deals
for sure.
in the service industry.
Excuse me.
Well, I guess if you just say, "Pardon me," no, I guess you just wait till they're in front of you.
Well, they have that. Or even put your hand up.
Well, they
have
whatever,
that, but
you could just hit the button that goes ding.
I think being snapped at, there's just something about that it'd be no different than if you clapped at someone went. You'd be like, "Screw you! What the hell's that, man? Just put up a finger or something. I'll see ya."
While that wouldn't be a good Joe stunt on his own, that needs to be part of a Joe stunt the next time you're at a place with a wait staff where you need to. Excuse me.
Clap for the help.
Make him have several devices that can get attention, including like a whistle, a cowbell.
Maybe that's the stuff.
Clapping, snapping.
Yeah.
A little small
service bell.
Producer Joe's needy customer.
The Serve Me Now challenge.
A small amplification device.
You're my slave challenge.
Producer Joe Zane's mom challenge is what we'll call it.
I
my mom is very, very not nice to anyone who works in the service industry.
Yeah, that's no good.
Remember Wally wrote that clandestine email, my mom's husband, about how much I was 100% right
yeah.
about used to be that way. She still is. She makes my skin crawl whenever we go out somewhere because she's so damn insulting. I'll bet you, has eaten 500 gallons of spit from other people.
I remember when we were stuck in Orlando that time and they took us out. We were on the way to the restaurant.
She's a rude lady.
You said, look out. And sure enough, man, Logan's didn't bring the rolls right, and it was on.
Everybody starts looking down at the table.
Excuse me, darling.
We all bury our faces in the menu.
She is mean as a snake.
I've ordered the same thing every time I've gone for a decade, and I stared at that menu like,
So, what do you got new heart healthy on here? Yeah. What, you still got that mac and cheese? Okay.
You know what? I've got a new lease about my mother, and whenever she makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to tell her.
Yeah.
So the next time that happens, I can't wait to just say, do you realize for 43 years that I've been seeing you, you've always done this? You've always ripped on somebody when they didn't, because how the hell is that fun? I mean, I can see once in a while because something really crazy happens, but then maybe they'll fix it for you if you're nice enough, and if you just explain it to them. How the hell do you find, is this good? How does this become an enjoyable dining experience? My God.
It's pretty brutal.
I need the power.
Oh,
I think that's what it is.
I guess, yeah.
That's what it is.
That list still available in the links section at freebeerandhotwings.com. Coming up in the next segment, Zane did a little bit of stalking last week and came in and confessed to it the next day right on the...
Now, back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Flashback comes up in the next segment. Right here, though, we were talking last week about the inheritances that you have fought over.
So we talked about inheritance and how it can rip families apart. People make bad decisions. We've got a couple phone calls on hold from people that have dealt with that. What is the stupidest thing you fought for? And that is inspired by the following story. Two siblings in England, when their mother died, they were left $190,000 total between the two of them. Her son was cut completely out of the will 2 years earlier.
Okay.
The son and one of his sisters say that their mother lacked the mental capacity to make those changes, and they say that their other sister pressured mom to cut the son out. That happens.
Okay.
That happens.
That does happen.
I'm going to try that.
Absolutely, that happens.
With somebody.
So it's $190,000 that's the total amount of the estate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the son and one of the sisters sued the other sister. And they've gone back and forth in court since 2009. In the process, the three of them have spent well over $200,000.
Man.
And obviously 3 years, at least, of their lives.
Ooh.
There's literally nothing. Well, there's still money in the estate, but when they get it, it will be used to pay back parts of their debt that they have accrued in trying to get the inheritance. And the loss of relationships, and I think worse than that, the time and energy you've dedicated to this. 3 years of your life?
Yeah.
And now you know that at best case scenario you can break even? Ugh. Let it go, man.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, once you're invested, you're like, okay, now I just want to break one off.
I think that's exactly what it is.
That's what you do,
You're
man.
pissed.
There's been some great fights historically among families. That's the way you get it done.
Yeah.
That is called aggression.
Michael in Nashville. Hi, Michael.
Love it.
Yes.
Give us an inheritance story.
Well, yeah, my grandmother, her parents, they live in Corpus Christi, Texas, but they have a whole lot of land, somewhere around $1.5 million worth of land outside of Memphis, Tennessee. And she and her sister were guaranteed, of course, 100% of it. Her sister was guaranteed 75%, and she was guaranteed 25% because she never really took care of them in their later years.
Yes. That's why you take care of your parents.
I mean, that sounds fair.
Okay. But if it was in the will, strictly said that if she were to fight to get more than the 25%, that she would get nothing.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. All right.
And
Well,
good stipulation.
She fought it and took it to court and got nothing, and now she's pissed off and won't talk to the family.
Well, good. No
well,
one liked her anyway.
Yeah, that's
no
the
one
way
liked her
it
anyway.
goes. Yeah,
She
you
didn't
know, when you don't lift a finger and then you expect everything.
Yeah, the fact that they put that clause in there saying if they fight for more, they get nothing, and you'd know that and go, well, I'm going to do that. You've proven them right. You're a jerk.
Exactly.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Thank you, Michael. Matt in Portland. Hi, Matt.
Hey, I just got some advice. Definitely go into inheritance expecting nothing. Because my grandfather died a few years ago. We expected nothing. Next thing you know, we got a letter in the mail saying, hey, you're going to get a fifth of what he has, and it's close to $1 million.
Wow, boy, man, that's something.
Was there anyone who expected something and didn't get anything?
No. It was all evenly spread out.
Oh, what a terrible. I mean, that's pretty awesome for you, but the opposite scenario. When people, could you see, I mean, I've been at funerals where people have said, boy, that person's got some dollar signs in their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's weird. And I've known family members or friends where they tell you stories where somebody gets sick and all of a sudden someone who's never spent time with mom or dad is spending a boatload of time.
Yeah.
And then you find out afterwards where there was a change in the will.
Yeah.
And,
Now, how is it? Okay, now my situation is very strange because, my dad was married to a lady, and they had Norman Bummer. So Norman Bummer is boy number one for my dad.
Yes.
Then he marries my mom and has my brother Jim and I and adopts my mom's 2 kids that she had, World Book or Push-Up Paul and Regular Mike. So now he has 5 kids legally.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
About the time that the marriage broke up, he became estranged from adopted kids. But legally, they're his, just as much as he's their dad, just as much as he's my dad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gets remarried, and new wife has 3 daughters. So he has 3 stepdaughters and 5 boys. Those adopted kids, though, he's kind of reconciled with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And Norman Bummer, everybody's entitled to the same percentage.
If he doesn't have a will.
Well, in theory, yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't have a will, they just break it up by, is that how they do it?
I think so, but I don't know.
I don't know.
It's just
sure.
It's just an uninformed assumption.
And if stepmom is the survivor, if my dad passed away before stepmom will then divide it between. Well, either way, it's going to get divided between the boys and the 3 stepmoms.
Well, it's hard to say, though.
Because he likes that side of the family. He likes his new family.
But he could
anyway.
leave everything to his wife.
And then,
right, but then eventually she'll pass on.
And then
but she doesn't necessarily have to give you anything.
Oh, okay.
Because if it all went to her, she could have her own separate will done.
Does.
And then she could give it all
in the face
to one of her kids.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
whoever's
in control of it.
Let's go the opposite way on fantasy will reading, though, because I made that joke about Zane getting willed photos of the other kids in the family. Yeah. But let's imagine that all of the 8 kids are gathered there, and it's like in the movies when a lawyer reads the will, and it says to so-and-so I give this. And, the first person gets like a doily, and the second person, potholder. And then it gets to Zane, and it says, we will, Eric Zane, 100% of our economic wealth and all of our land.
Because he was
stupid, always our
like the
favorite.
Rest of you.
Can you imagine the hip thrusting and the taunting that would take place
at
that?
My God.
There'd be so much. I'd flip the table.
In your face! In your face!
You got 40 Christmases and a new roof every 10 years. I get everything else. In your face, Blondie.
40 Christmases and a new roof. That was like a slogan from an 1808 presidential candidate.
Get 40 Christmases and a new roof every 10 years.
He's only giving you 40 acres and a mule.
What would you rather have? A mule or a roof?
You thought you brainwashed him. You didn't.
Josh in Birmingham. Josh, welcome.
Hey, you got a great show, by the way.
Thanks,
you.
We appreciate it.
Well, when I was in high school, I was 17, my senior year,
And I came home one day. I've got an Aunt Smith that lives in Waco, Texas, that I've never met. Well, none of me or my siblings have met. And we came in. My sisters were already there. My grandmother and my parents were there. And they was telling me that out of nowhere she passed away and left me and all four of my sisters $75,000 apiece in a bond.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. I can't imagine. Now, you hear of that fairly often where somebody gets something out of the blue from a family member they didn't really know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really random. And, I thought it was a joke at first. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Well,
and I was like, no. And, me being in high school, I was like, I want to go buy a Ferrari or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you feel bad that you didn't know her? Or I guess if you were in high school, you couldn't have really made an effort. It's pretty tough.
She lived so far away, and, I've always lived in Birmingham, and, she's never, I've talked to her over the phone, and we've made plans to go down there, but we never have, so.
Yeah.
It really wasn't, I wasn't going to leave high school and go to Texas just to see my aunt, I don't know.
Sure,
right,
absolutely.
Right.
Josh, thank you.
This is how it's going to be when my mom passes. I'm sitting there with an attorney and the rest of my idiot brothers, and I'll hear, to Eric, 1/4 of our estate minus the cost of diapers, the cost of baby food, minus the cost of all the food that he ate while living there, minus rent from age 0 to however long he lived at our house, minus the cost of gas, minus the mirror that he ripped off the old Monte Carlo. And I give it instead, all the money goes to the Parents Without Partners program that supported me and played me Neil Diamond music like Forever in Blue Jeans while I wept that I have no man and a vacuum vagina.
Vacuum vagina.
You're actually going to have to put money into her casket before they bury her.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom.
This sucks.
You stingy idiot.
Listen to this email from a Jimbo.
Steve, camouflage.
My family is unique, I think. My dad is the eldest son who had already bought the family business from my grandfather, so we know how much money my grandparents are sitting on, or were sitting on, approximately $750,000.
Time to swindle.
Yeah.
The will was pretty much set in a fair manner, splitting the money equally between my father and the other siblings. My dad was also supposed to get land because he was the only child that still lived on it and had maintained and farmed it for the last 20 years. When my grandfather got Alzheimer's, though, she pressured my grandpa. It says when my grandpa got Alzheimer's, though, she pressured my grandpa. Maybe that should say grandma, who didn't know what he was doing at the time, to change the will to where my dad received no money. Oh, this is a sister.
It's a sister, yeah.
Yeah, I read it wrong. When my grandpa got Alzheimer's, though, she pressured my grandpa, who didn't know what he was doing at the time, to change the will to where my dad received no money, and she and another sister got all the land. They then pretty much forced my dad to buy the land off of them if he wanted to keep doing what he had been doing for his career.
Business venture.
So my dad paid up. Here's the twist, though. We all decided that money isn't worth losing family over, so we got over it. We still see them at family holidays.
Oh, boy, man.
If they're jerks, it is.
Yeah.
Then it is okay to cut ties.
If you've been screwed that bad,
that's all right.
Water
is thicker than blood.
I would have a tough time. I get it that it's just money.
You should have seduced your grandma quicker.
And there's certain things that I wouldn't bother fighting over. If somebody wanted to make a stink about it, I'd just go, look, it's not that important to me. I'd rather keep my family relationships. But
that's
if somebody knowingly
issue.
Goes out of their way to hose you over like that.
Yeah, that's a character issue. That's not a money issue. The money is the symptom.
That's when you burn their house down. That's what you do.
Burning their house down might cause you trouble. No expert.
You got to do it on the down low.
Yeah.
Man.
Flashback comes up in the next segment. Producer Joe's Diamond.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
In the flashback today, a classic producer Joe stunt. Producer Joe's Diamond Dave Crazy Talker.
You dumb mother...
Before we get to Producer Joe's Diamond Dave Crazy Talker, I think it would only be appropriate to revisit what was the inspiration for this segment.
I think so, yeah. I think this would be a good refresher for everybody.
Started making its way around the internet. David Lee Roth's isolated vocal track from the initial recording of Running with the Devil.
Yeah.
With Van Halen. And when you hear the stuff within the context of the song with drums and guitars and everything else and backing vocals, it makes sense. You know, I would never even noticed half of this stuff. But when you hear it, just him by itself, it sounds silly.
Oh, my gosh, does it ever.
And so first we're going to take a listen to his vocal track only of this song. And this is going to put the song in my head for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is, David Lee Roth.
Oh!
Vocals only.
Oh, yes! Yeah!
I still love it.
Yeah. Come on, Dave.
I live my life like there's no tomorrow, and all I've got I had to steal. Least I don't need to beg or borrow. Yes, I'm living at a pace that kills.
What do you say there?
A pace that kills.
Oh, okay, that's what.
What did he say there? That's my favorite. Woo-coo.
Woo-coo. Yes, he does say woo-coo. Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you all about it.
All right, man. All right.
I found the simple life ain't so simple. When I jumped out on that road, I got no love you'd call real. Ain't got nobody waiting at home. God made me, baby, no, I ain't lying to you. I'm only going to tell you one time.
Can't wait to hear Joe do that part.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
All right.
That should be his responsive. They say, who's next?
Mm-hmm. This is the point of the song when Eddie's doing a guitar solo. Mm-hmm. How are we thinking to do himself? I'll never be a has-been. I'll never be on tour with my son.
Our band's going to be together forever.
Woo!
Bring it home, Dave.
Mm-hmm. Another verse. Yep.
You know, I found the simple life once so simple. No, yeah. When I jumped out on that road, got no love you'd call real. Got nobody waiting at home.
Unbelievable.
Oh God, I'm running. Oh, yeah.
He's a good woo.
Run on one more time.
Why'd you not feel silly?
I don't know. I mean, when it's all put together, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound good right now. Not either.
He's standing on.
I think he's got his little costume on.
Yes.
Yeah. Whoa! Whoa!
So that's
the way to end it, yeah.
That was one of our favorite clips of all time the internet has ever provided for America.
Yeah.
And the world.
Agree. Mm-hmm.
David Lee Roth. So that was inspired, the Joe stunt, David Lee Roth, Crazy Talker, Diamond Dave Crazy Talker. That's where Joe would go out and have normal, innocent conversations with everyday people. But in the middle, he would have to work in Diamond Dave exasperations, such as those. Welcome, Broseph.
How's it going?
It's well. How are you?
I'm good.
You and, what's your location? Where are we today?
I'm at the same place. I'm at the same place I did Jedi Mind Tricks.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Now, for those who didn't hear Jedi Mind Tricks, that's where Joe went in as a Jedi and would try the old Jedi mind trick of, you will give me this Twinkie for free. And of course, eventually you had to say to a man who was cursing at you, you will stop swearing, as you waved your hand in his face wearing the full Jedi costume. Yeah. And that only made him swear about 100 million times more, correct?
It didn't work as good as I liked it to.
No.
So you're back in the ghetto, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if
I wonder if that guy's still there. Now, he was an employee, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he's still here. He was here when I cleaned the bathrooms at this same place.
Yeah. It's his time of day. It's his shift. It's his day. Heck yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So your plan is to go in there and have a brief interaction. And then, okay.
All right.
And then get sworn at, and then I'll run away.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you have some questions prepared? Because obviously you're going to have to, because, this isn't, you're at a gas station. This isn't the kind of place where they sit and have long bouts of small talk. You'll have to.
Oh, yeah, no, but I'm a talker, you know?
Well, you're a Diamond Dave crazy talker.
You're Diamond Dave crazy talker.
I strike the conversation.
That's right.
And then we just see where it goes.
Yeah. Freebird, do you have your clips and I have my clips? Is that how we're going to do this? Or are we just doing mine?
I think we just have yours.
Okay.
All right, Joe. You ready?
All right. Yep.
Okay. You've been sitting in your car all that time?
Yeah.
All right, go into this dump.
How are the nerves?
The nerves are there.
Are you at all concerned that they'll remember you and actually hate you before you say a word?
No, I just saw it. I just saw Gator Mouth, and he did not look at me like I was crazy yet.
Okay.
Gator Mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name Joe has given that man that yelled at him, apparently.
Mm-hmm. That's his blues singer name.
That's right. I think you referred to him as Gator Mouth McGillicuddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Joe, bust in and do this.
All right. Gator Mouth left.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, he's coming back in.
Go up to him and say, hey, man. And when he says something, after he says it, do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say, hey, man.
This is going to be short.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, how are you? Yeah.
Yeah, he remembers you.
Go, woohoo!
You're going to have to get out of there.
This whole thing's going to end up down.
Get out of there, Joe.
Yeah. Finish strong.
Maybe starting with the other guy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was quick.
Yeah,
Are you
you're
outside
already out
now?
of
Yeah, I walked out the door.
So so clearly he remembered you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
Now, I don't know what words he said because he was just far enough away from the phone that it was.
I think I heard a pretty strong MF at one point.
Did you?
Yeah, there was a couple big MF bombs
Mm-hmm.
and crazy N-word and...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, that's weird.
Now, is he calling you the N-word?
Yeah.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
Rather gratuitous use of that word.
Mm-hmm.
If we had more delay left, I would ask you to go in and say, sir, I'm not sure that word means what you think it means.
Well, all right. Well, what other establishments are in that neck of the woods?
Let's see. We got a fast food restaurant.
Okay.
We got another gas station a little bit down the road.
Can't
We
go
have
wrong.
an auto parts store.
Can't go wrong with the other fast food restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll. I'm trying to turn out of here. Busy road.
Oh, you got back in your car. You're driving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Wow, man, that fell
I'm not
apart
leaving
quick.
my car here.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be crazy. They came out and looked at me. I'm sure they're following me too.
Do you think they think you're I mean, was he mad at you initially?
No, he just kind of looked at me, and after I did my first woohoo, he knew what was going on, and he goes, "Yeah, I remember you, crazy MRFer."
Okay. We know what we should do one day is have you reconcile with him on the air.
Yeah.
Maybe bring him flowers or crack.
I wonder when the last time someone brought that man flowers was.
Yeah, I would guess never.
He doesn't know what a flower is.
No, he's never seen one.
He would immediately eat it.
Oh, yeah.
Or attack it with racial slurs.
He starts...
And then sing blues songs.
Yeah.
Cursing the rose you bring him. How close are you, Joe?
I'm turning in right now.
Okay. Was former intern Loose Wendy is recording today. Was she nervous?
Hey, Wendy, were you nervous? Yes. Yeah, she was.
Ask her if it made her looser than normal.
Did it make you looser than normal? Did you drop an ovary?
Jesus, I did. Wendy is the greatest intern at just saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
She learned that there's nothing can happen bad when you just say, yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah. She's the greatest at saying yes to everything, like when we say, on your knees.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe's laughing because he's done it.
Yeah.
Good morning. How y'all doing? Good. All right. Thanks. Okay.
Let him have it.
Come on, don't forget.
Go on, Diamond Dave.
I walked in the door. He was holding it open for me. Hang on.
Oh.
Yeah.
I agree.
Got the symbolize.
Hey, first you ain't got to shoot me, man. No, fuck this. I got to get this up. No! But you make that job.
Don't quit my day job.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah. Say, oh, yeah, man? Well, how about this?
I'm inside again.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Are you already in trouble at this place too?
No.
Okay.
not at all.
Is this the restaurant?
Yeah, this is the restaurant.
Okay.
There was
Make
a
sure.
homeless guy holding the door for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You seem like a very nice man.
Yeah. Any interaction needs to end with a woo-hoo or something, Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
I would like a woo-coo on one of the next ones.
Yeah, whatever.
Woo-coo.
Yep.
Okay.
A woo-coo and then a coo.
Okay, cool.
So, Joe, like always, say, okay, I'll have a biscuit, and then let them have it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they say, are you eating here? You should say, yes, I am.
I'd like a number one.
Coo.
Say with an orange juice.
Orange juice.
Say how much?
370. Thank you.
You lunatic.
Hey, wait, you didn't ask me if it was for here to go. Shoot, I'm listening. They assumed it was to go.
Yeah, they do. They want you to leave. Is what
So
you're
now
saying.
they're getting your food.
I'm sorry, what'd you say? You're pretty busy today? Is it?
What's that?
Are they?
Oh, thank you so much.
Now say, oh God, I'm running.
Big finish.
How are they looking at you?
Oh, badly?
Do you think any police are on the way?
No. They're probably used to it here.
No, the cops don't come to that.
No,
War zone.
They don't go to that neighborhood.
That war zone.
All right, Joe. Come on back. Way to go, Diamond Dave Crazy Talker.
Thank you.
Well done. I can't wait to see the video on that, to see people's faces. FreeBeerandHotWings.com. A lot of videos and a lot of links. A lot more going up today as it goes on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So everybody's heard of a Napoleon complex, and we can't say for sure that it was a Napoleon complex that made this man decide to rob a convenience store, but he is 5'3".
Okay.
Okay, little buddy.
One would assume that, little buddy probably had a Napoleon complex. Safe to say?
He's adorable.
Probably. Yeah.
In his 20s, never caught a break, decided to rob a convenience store in Santa Cruz, California with a shotgun. That'll even out the size matchup.
Yep.
Think you're tall? Got a shotgun.
Right.
He demanded all of the money in the cash register. However, the employee, normal-sized, took the gun from him.
Give me that.
Reached out and took it out of little fella's hands.
Give me that.
Hey.
He just snatched it.
Watch where you point that, kid.
His tiny hands unable to hold on to the stock and the barrel of the gun.
I can see that.
As the guy reached out and grabbed it, presumably with just his thumb and index finger. Give me that. Come on now.
Right. It was a little teeny tiny shotgun.
What are you doing, son?
Give me that before you hurt yourself.
Easily grabbed the gun away is how it's described. They say the surveillance video will likely be released. I want it to be like literally an adult taking candy from a baby. No, you can't have that.
In order for him to hold the shotgun up, he had to lean back because he didn't have the strength to actually lift it that high.
Yeah.
He had to prop it on his hip.
The robber ran away. The police are still looking for him, so he did get away. It's not completely...
Just tiny steps.
Pretty embarrassing,
yeah.
He took 50 million steps and traveled 1 mile.
But he can hide in a tree, so it's hard to find him.
You little ass, give me that gun. You little effer. Jimmy Pardo, give me that gun.
Jimmy!
You should be making your podcast and working on your comedy routine instead of robbing people.
Shouldn't you be warming the crowd for Conan O'Brien, you little fella? Freebeerandhotwings.com. As we said, lots of videos and links. A lot of stuff went up yesterday, including...
This right to vote is the basic right, without which all others are meaningless. It gives people as individuals, control over their own destiny.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
All in favor of making Zane punch himself in the seat. I do it.
It's long.
Go ahead, try to stop him.
Pound it.
You've been doing it all morning anyway.
You will punch your crank if you want your microphone on.
I don't want to do this.
Okay.
Nope.
Ow! Hold on, I didn't do it hard enough. It didn't hurt enough.
It didn't feel good enough.
Hold on.
He likes it.
38-year-old man, he made me punch my...
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
It's Tuesday. It's the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Two producers, Joe and Steve. You can join us toll free, 1-800-947-3979. Email anytime, idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com. Go to freebeerandhotwings.com. Lots of videos, links for virtually everything we talk about today and every day. See them in the slideshow, video reel, links, wherever.
So, huge day for video game sales as the new Call of Duty game went on sale at midnight.
Yeah. People were waiting in line.
This stretched to our household.
Yeah.
This video game. Jim's, he's pretty damn good at these games. And so ahead of time, he put $5 down a couple weeks ago and reserved his copy. And as I talked to you guys off the air about this, he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, Dad, I need $60 to get the new Call of Duty game." I go, "Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. Remember how I told you how it works? You have a job, and if you ever want something, you save up your money. You're spending money that you earn. The stuff that goes in the bank, I'm not just going to give it to you. It's that's something you can't touch."
Right.
Okay. Well, wait. What am I supposed to do? I said, all right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a loan, and then you pay me back over a period of time so you don't, break the bank on all your spending money. Okay, fine. He really wants his damn game. So, the process yesterday is like this. He goes, all right, this is what I got to do. I got to leave at 4 for the store that I'm getting it at. And, actually 5, or get there at 5, because at 6 they hand out tickets. And with those tickets, that gets you to be able at midnight to get the game as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you got to wait in line. And there's people that have been there all day. Unbelievably.
So you still have to wait in line even though you pre-ordered?
Uh-huh.
The hell's the point?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm missing in this. I don't know why you couldn't just. I mean, is it a thing where, because I think you can buy it in just regular sales when the store opens today.
Well, I know on times where I've, like, the last Grand Theft Auto game was probably the last one I bought where people waited in line.
Yeah.
People were waiting in line. We talked about it on the air. I remember that. And then I left work, drove to a store, and I bought it, and they had, like, a billion copies.
Yeah,
and I thought, I don't know, why didn't I? The only reason to wait in line is the joy of, kind of the event of the whole thing. And then
they play it all night.
Yeah.
Well, I thought his plan was to get that damn game and then come home and go to bed. But that would defeat the purpose if what you said is true, Freebird, because then he could just after school go and get the game.
Right.
But it was absolutely his intention to stay up all night, because when I got up to leave for work, Jim was downstairs playing that game.
Oh.
With a friend who slept over and apparently made arrangements to sleep over, and there they were. I'm like, holy, and I didn't say anything to him. Mom, actually, I came down and he wasn't in his room, and I went him, I go, is Jim coming home tonight? She goes, well, yeah. I go, well, he's not in his room. So she comes down, and we find him downstairs. Mm-hmm. And I go, can I see you for a minute? I go, so what the hell? It's just, he doesn't have to go to school? I go, he's still going to school. Oh, yeah. All right. Better you than me.
That'll be a very productive day at school.
Yeah. All A's.
I bet there are people listening right now who are calling in sick or skipping school.
Oh, big time.
There's no question.
And then he said to me, as he's going back downstairs to give his buddy a pillow, I go, you guys got to go to bed, man. Go to sleep. Enough. We're not up all night playing this damn game. Yeah, I go, he goes, man, Dad, you should have seen the nerds. And I go, I'm anxious to hear. So he said it was really intense.
I got news for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He is one of them.
Well, he's going by appearance, by, whatever. Maybe they don't bathe. I have no idea what people look like. But I know he didn't bathe either because he came right from hockey.
Yeah, I'm going with behavior, not looks. I mean, I'm sure there were some nerdy looking.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tell him next time you see him. Say, look, dude, you can't throw anybody in line for a video game under the bus when you were in that line.
You were right there amongst your people.
You can't sit there and judge them when you're going, look at these stupid idiots. They're waiting in line. Stupid. I'll shoot him with my bazooka arm.
Yeah. If I'm going to stay up all night, miss work, miss school, or just be, a zombie all day because I stayed up to see the new Star Wars movie at midnight, I can't criticize the guy who's dressed as Darth Vader just because I'm not.
Okay.
Right.
No way.
So that's what it was for him, man. Up all night playing this game. And I don't know how much different it is in the last game. Different maps. What sets these things apart that makes them so incredibly different? It can't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't know at this point, because I know that, through the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, every time a new game came out, it seemed like they were like really leaps and bounds ahead in terms of graphics and things like that. But now they've gotten so damn good that it does seem often where it's just more like a different mission.
It's not about improvements as far as, there are improvements gameplay, but here are the differences.
Okay.
This one is set in the near future. I believe the most recent one, according to this at least, was set in like current times. But this one is set in the near future, which means unmanned drones, robotics, and other futuristic technology at your disposal. Okay. For the first time, zombie mode will have its own campaign along with the main story.
Oh, God.
You can cooperatively take on zombies, up to 8 people. There's a new mode called Infected, where if you get killed by a zombie, you turn into one yourself. Okay.
It seems like
is there a map?
Completely different games.
Is it based on the most current events so that you can go to Staten Island and pretend that you're going to offer help and just lay waste on people? Anything like that?
No.
Ruin anything that's not quite ruined all the way already?
Be like the accusations that the Red Cross didn't help and show up as a Red Cross volunteer and just waste everyone.
We're gonna play Call of Duty, Sandy Help.
Sandy Help.
And this is what we're gonna do. Me and a bunch of buddies, we're gonna get a battalion together. We're gonna all go to the shore, and then we're gonna just stand there.
We're gonna go into a high school and shoot people,
and then we're gonna stand around.
Guys, if you buy this game, you can be a codcaster. Do you want to be a codcaster?
A cod?
As in
Codcaster?
Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, codcaster.
You can assume the role of color commentators, providing play-by-play coverage directly to YouTube through built-in features of the game.
That's I want to do that.
Dude, that
sounds
so,
like I want to do that for people who are taking the game seriously.
You want to force them to take it.
Oh, look at this douche.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This kid doesn't know what he's doing.
Great
I
move.
bet you his parents are divorced. Look at this loser.
This kid is 1 second from a headshot.
I think that video we were watching, that Zane and I, we were watching in the office yesterday, was the previous Call of Duty game. I think they were playing, but the guy was watching the Alabama-Texas A&M game, and he was a huge Crimson Tide fan.
Yeah, so he's
he's walking around trying to shoot people and getting shot at, and he's getting pissed because Eddie Lacy's not getting the football to cram it into the end zone against the Aggies.
Yep.
And then he went bananas when McCarron threw that interception. Jeez. Guys, there's new Strike Force missions.
Oh, boy.
Feature branching storylines. Oh, this is something. And then also single-player campaign features 2 connected storylines, one with Alex Mason from the previous Black Ops game fighting in the 70s through the 80s. The other one set in the year 2025. It introduces his son, David, and a cyber attack on the Chinese stock market that triggers a new Cold War between China and the U.S. I'm sure this game looks like a blast. It does look really fun.
I hate that would have seemed awesome to me at one time and no longer does. I hate that.
It still seems awesome to me.
Awesome
I still want to do it.
I still am really impressed by it. I always enjoy, but I'm so not good at it because you see, when you have the vast number of people who play it, the people who are playing this game were great at the other games, so. Right out of the gate, they're great.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no room for some dumbass old idiot like me to go in there because, I'm going to be, and playing on a map with 30 people who are devastatingly fast.
Trained assassins.
And I'm there looking at the controller trying to figure out what button to push. I've been killed and spawned 5 times, and I'm running actually into a corner of a wall. Repeatedly and jumping. My gun is facing towards the ceiling.
Yeah. There's a codcaster talking about you saying, this guy's an idiot. Look at him bouncing off the wall.
There's got to be a name for it other than newbie. There must be some really degrading, mean name for a moron like me who runs around like a stupid dope, throws a grenade, and it goes in my mouth.
Kyle in Grand Rapids. Hi, Kyle.
Oh, hey. Watching the show, really like it, and just noticed you guys were talking about Black Ops and midnight releases and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So figured I'd kind of give my perspective on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kyle.
All right. Well, usually the reason why people would wait in line for so long for the pre-orders and all of that sort of thing, in most cases for, say, like a GameStop or something like that, they actually have to set their registers for a certain setting. I don't know. I don't work there or anything, but they actually have to set their registers in a different mode, basically, when they go for a midnight release. So,
okay.
That's partially why it explains all the lines and the tickets and everything.
No, it doesn't, because what we're getting at is, you can buy it general sales today. So why do they wait in line if they can sleep all night, wake up, and then go get it at 9 a.m.?
Yeah, well, that's also true, but I mean, most of the time people are going
but
midnight.
It's a complete difference. I don't understand. I mean, other than just to play it right away, is that the only reason why people are waiting online or waiting in line?
Yeah, usually. I mean, it would just be.
So we're going to disregard everything you said prior to usually as the reason.
Mm-hmm. I do have an answer for you. Do get this? Nicholas makes a good point. He says you actually get a lot of extras for pre-ordering, like bonus maps and extra missions. Which, if you're going to buy it anyway, that makes sense.
Okay. For getting there at midnight, you couldn't get that stuff at 9 a.m.?
My impression was always that if you pre-order it, you get that even if you pick it up Tuesday during the middle of the day.
How about Kyle's call? What do you think about Kyle's call?
As a rule of thumb, this isn't like a speech class in college. Like in speech classes in college, they would say, tell them what you're going to talk about it, and then tell them what you talked about. That was the format you would follow. So in Kyle's case, he said, I noticed you're talking about this. I intend to tell you why people wait in line. I am now telling you why they wait in line. I have told you why. Don't do that. Just tell us.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I was having a very hard time not swallowing my own tongue.
It took forever, and he didn't say anything that was even cohesive in any way.
It's always strange when you call into a radio show, and then we say hello, and you go, oh, hello.
Oh,
I didn't bump into an instructional video on how to, bet blackjack.
This is why people who can talk and can communicate will always rule the world over idiots like these. They can't interact with anyone. That idiot couldn't even form a thought. He could probably make the video game, but he's a moron. You heard it. He's a complete imbecile.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Hi, let's talk about this game.
And then he said he's watching the show, and I guess he could be.
He might be watching the show.
In that case.
But I don't think so.
But the whole thing about...
if that's the case, there you go. Take that, you idiot.
Yeah, they have to set their cash registers on nerd.
What? Yeah, what about the cash registers? What the hell does that have to do with anything?
You said why? You said you were going to tell us why they're waiting in line, and then you said they're waiting in line because at the store they set the cash registers a certain way. You made up some crazy fable.
Cody joins us, listening on 97.9 X in Wilkes-Barre. Hi, Cody.
Hi, guys.
What do you say, buddy?
The last guy, I don't know what he was thinking, but the reason people wait in line is because if you pre-order a game, I don't really know about Black Ops, but I play a game called Assassin's Creed, and you get, bonus missions and, bonus apparel in the game nobody else will get.
No one? You mean there's no way you can get anything else for Assassin's Creed? Other than the day of?
You download it.
You get it free instead.
Special things that pertain only to pre-ordering the game.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That is a pretty good deal.
How about the fact that game is now set in, looks like Revolutionary War times? Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, it is awesome. Yeah, definitely for sure.
Does it give you a stiffy?
Yeah.
Well,
Cody, I'm with you on I am with you on nerding out for that game.
It looks awesome.
I still have to finish the other one.
The last few were Renaissance period, and before that, the Crusades period.
Oh,
and now it's set in America, so it's something I can actually relate to. I never ran through Florence or anything. So,
but you probably have run through Gettysburg a number of times.
But I did try to stab George Washington, so that I can relate.
So many times I've crossed the frozen Delaware.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm in, man. I love that game. Thank you, Cody.
He doesn't get your joke.
No.
Doesn't get it.
I love that. That game is awesome. They're making. I'm such a nerd. See, that's the thing is I can't be critical because I'm there. If not for time blocking me, they're making Assassin's Creed into a movie, and I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait. It's gonna be terrible. All video games are terrible movies, but I'm gonna see that one opening weekend.
I'm so with you, man. There's no way that these are. This is great entertainment for people. There's no question. I just don't. I think it should. I think people spend a little too much time on it, frankly. But it's still excellent. There's no question.
I had I don't know if I would call it a revelation, but a strange thought last week leaving basketball. It's all grown men with families and careers, a variety of careers. Some guy, there's a CFO who works there. There's guys who manage these huge projects, who plays basketball with us. And I think last week, I forget which game was coming out last week or 2 weeks ago. It might have been Halo.
Yeah, it was.
And a couple of the guys were like, I'm going to get that as soon as I leave basketball. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because when, growing up, if you played video games past, ninth grade, it was geez, nice job, little boy.
Yeah, you're a
child. And that, obviously, that whole mindset has changed because of the advancement of the technology.
They're so great, in terms of what you can do on them. It's like a virtual war. And that's... It's terrific. No question.
Boy, people are... Okay. You can relent. We understand why you wait in line.
Yeah.
We're on board.
Is that basically the same thing? The reason why is because this...
Yep. This note, Jason says, you can pre-order and pick up the game as much as 2 weeks later, for example. And you still get the bonuses. You wait at midnight for the event to say you were one of the first ones to play it. That's no excuse.
That's new information then. If you have 2 weeks to pick it up, then the only reason why you waited in line is so that you could take it immediately and play it all night.
Yep.
Well, it's because you get those nerds, and we've gotten those calls every time one of these games comes out where we talk. We've had interns that picked up games and they said, Yeah, I got it last night at midnight. I already beat it.
Kurt Busch.
I already played all the way through
Kurt
it.
Busch.
Yeah, that's a bummer. It seems.
You go, well, God, man, that actually doesn't seem fun if you play it that fast and you go through it.
What's fun is how you sit there and weep when you realize that this is the most important thing you have to deal with.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, if you're a kid, I can see it, but for big people, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
When you say, "Okay, this is my life." Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
A quick side note: if you're listening in Flint, there is clearly some sort of technical glitch.
Yeah.
Where commercials have been playing while we've been talking.
Oh, really?
So that is not on our end, but I know they are working to get it fixed.
That's a bummer.
So everywhere else, I think we're okay. Steve, I haven't heard anything else. Have you heard anything else?
No, we're good.
Okay. Would you send a sassy email to Labrie?
Will do.
No, you don't have to. I'm sure he's getting plenty.
Yeah, when he wakes up at 9, he'll get it.
Yeah. It's his day with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez.
That's terrible.
That was out of nowhere. That was a good one. A good out of nowhere moment. It's his day with the kids.
On the way next. That's awful.
No, wait. I wanna know,
yes, I do.
I want to know how.
In advance, I feel terrible.
Because I never feel bad when I make fun of Labrie, of course.
No.
But you do.
Yeah,
so that must be a real struggle for you.
Normally I don't jump in, but...
Jump in? You mean start and finish?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't feel good. I enjoyed it while it was happening. And then soon it was over? Mm-mm.
Okay. Boy, that's...
Will it happen again? Yeah, probably. When I forget about this. Yeah. And then it'll happen again, and then I'll forget about it. That's how it goes.
Hot Wings, your thoughts? I talked to Freebeer. What do you think about that?
I don't think Freebeer feels that bad because you'd stop doing it. you derive more pleasure than you do guilt from.
Yes, obviously.
So there you go.
But that doesn't mean I don't feel bad.
I don't know.
I might feel really good.
Labrie, though.
I think feel pretty bad.
Now you're in trouble now. It's Labrie, though. It's all right. I'm the only one that's making fun of Labrie today.
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
Up next, why did the flight attendants hate you? And if they don't hate you, maybe you will take advantage of this list, this survey of flight attendants, so you...
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
1-800-947-3979 in a moment. Why does the flight attendant hate you? A couple emails following up on what we talked about in the last segment with people waiting in line for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Wanted to weigh in on a few things that your prepubescent callers have had to say. The first two calls you took still make no sense to me. The second guy made a little more, but not much. Waiting in line till midnight is simply for sentimental value. All the map packs and extra unlocks can still be picked up at 9 a.m. the next morning or the next day for that matter.
Okay.
I made the mistake of waiting in line for a midnight release. The only upside, getting past the fact that you had to wait with groups of douchey college guys and overweight basement dwellers. And my equally douchey self at the time was that A&W sent a bellhop across the street to the GameStop where we were so we could stuff our dumb faces while we waited pointlessly.
Bellhop. Boy, that sounds glamorous.
I don't think it's a bellhop.
Yeah, everything about that
I think you're
sounds
getting your
great.
Service industries mixed up.
Oh, no, it wasn't a bellhop. It was Don Lemon from CNN.
That's right.
To help.
That doesn't seem worth it to me. But I also don't, our schedule is so jacked up. There's no chance. Like, I used to love in college going to midnight movies, like the premiere. I can't imagine doing that now.
Yeah, and I used to wait in line for midnight releases of certain albums and crap like that, before digital downloads. So you'd all get together and hang out at the record store and wait for the new REM CD.
Yeah, now I don't even want to leave the house. Like if I were really excited for a video game, I'd pre-order it on Amazon or something, so that it would be delivered on the day that it came out. So I'd come home from where, there it is, great.
Yeah, I think the only reason why this is done is because they want to play the game. They want to play.
I think it's all bragging rights. I mean, really.
Well, I think it's fun too.
It is, but I think for a lot of these guys, it's bragging rights. It's being able to go, I got it right at 12 midnight and 30 seconds.
Yeah,
and I had
good marketing.
I went all the way through it by 3 a.m. Or whatever. Yeah, the super nerds.
Now, when we fly, sometimes I think it might be fair to say, not intentionally, but Joe sometimes has an adversarial relationship with the flight attendant, constantly trying to keep his computer on and
I'm trying to fly by his own rules.
Sleep on the seats and tell him how the flaps are supposed to be on the wings so we don't crash. They're all things that might happen.
I forget how that ever resolved. Did we ever get? We've been back and forth on that issue so many times about the flaps. What was the last installment on that discussion?
Some people think that it's incredibly dangerous, like the pilot.
Right.
That was on that.
You and I had that connection with that pilot and that first mate, or whatever they call him.
But then we talked about it on the air, and we got a bunch of emails saying I use them all the time in mid-flight. Always.
It allows you to slow down without changing the pitch of the airplane.
Joe, I'm on that whole discussion we had. The fact that we were right there, and said, and we actually pointed. We said these flaps. When should they be? And he gave us specifics. So I think
if you use that mid-flight, you're a bad pilot. You figure out a different way.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, Joe. Thank you for that.
All right.
Well, Yahoo did a survey of flight attendants to see what annoys them most
about passengers.
Okay. Any guesses?
Let's see.
Know-it-alls that tell them how to fly the airplane.
They want a drink.
These are flight attendants, right?
Probably too specific, yeah.
Their elbows are always getting in the way of their asses.
Yeah. The narrow aisles where their hips constantly bump off the shoulders of patients.
People who keep their legs out.
Patients.
Yeah, you refer to the people on board as patients.
I don't think they're patients.
Did I say patients?
You did say that.
Patrons is
what did you say, Zane?
People who keep their legs out while because a lot of their job has to go up and down the aisle.
No, that's not on there. But do you think they ever smash into someone's leg on purpose with that cart?
Yes.
Because every once in a while I've heard.
I don't think they do it on purpose.
See, on purpose seems unlikely, but.
Unless
I don't know if you
real jerk.
Could you allow yourself to be oblivious without it being on purpose? Because there's sometimes where you see it and they just blast somebody, and I'm like, how did you not see that?
I think they do it on purpose sometimes. Yeah. I think if you just happen to be in the aisle with your leg, they won't. But I've seen it before where they ask somebody like 3 or 4 times, where they're walking up and down the aisles before they're even serving drinks, where it's like, sir, could you please put your foot?
Yeah, where they may even make an announcement.
And then they get lazy and flop their leg out there again, and so they're always kind of in the way. They get jacked on purpose.
All right, well, here are the 6 things they say are the most annoying. They said the average passenger who causes the fewest problems is male, in his 30s, and sits in economy. So,
okay.
Mostly us. The exception of Joe.
Yeah.
And you fit that demographically, but
close enough.
Shoving garbage in the seat pocket. Who has shoved garbage in the seat pocket? All of us?
Everyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Joe is the only one who throws chewed gum in there, as far as we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah, you leave the most actual garbage.
He actually opens the pouch and goes, "Hey, watch this." Thunk.
I think I've left a gum wrapper in there before. I'm not a garbage leaver on the plane.
Joe,
on the other hand,
you'll
leave half a sandwich.
Absolutely.
Joe flies mad at the airline, even if they're on time and everything is smooth. Joe's mad at them.
Yeah, I am. I don't deny that.
Is it something you would try to change, or that's how it is? That's the cost of doing business with Joe.
Yeah.
Garbage has got to go somewhere, right, Joe?
It does, absolutely.
They only walk
Zane
by 20 times with their bag out.
Yeah.
Throw it anywhere. Doesn't matter.
Number 5, asking for extra blankets or pillows. Well, too bad. That's your job.
They don't like that. They don't like that you ask for a pillow.
Well, how often can that happen?
I never ask for pillows or blankets.
I never see people asking for that stuff. I mean, it's got to be...
I didn't think they were available anymore. I thought they took them off the planes to save weight and save fuel.
I thought you had to pay for them now.
On overseas flights.
Yeah, I suppose.
They always give them to you.
Yeah, okay.
Number 4, talking through the safety demonstration. Really? You actually care? I can't believe they care. They are so going through the motions on that. They hate doing it as much as we hate hearing it over and over again.
Half the time, they don't even do it anymore. They just stand up there and show how the seatbelt works while the pre-recorded bit plays. They don't even talk.
Go through the over here.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I know. I can look where the doors are, and I know how my seatbelt works because I'm not dumb.
The third most annoying thing to flight attendants is trying to cram pieces of luggage that are too big into the overhead car.
Oh, that annoys me.
That annoys everybody. You always, every time you get on a flight, you'll be on one of those little commuter jets where the overhead bin is about 6 inches tall, and you see the one idiot who goes past everybody and says, "No, I am not going to put this bag on the ramp. I'm going to try to stick it in the overhead."
He's not going to get a pink tag, which
no,
it's going to cost him 2 minutes of time.
I'm just going to punch my backpack into this space.
Yeah. Mine fits.
No matter what.
Mine fits, and it always has fit. The problem we're talking about is somebody who's got something on wheels that's massively thick like a brick.
You can look at it and you go, it's just physically impossible. I don't care if you have the biggest, strongest human being on earth. They cannot punch that in there,
and it always
unless it explodes.
It always seems like it's a 79-year-old guy, too, who feebly attempts to lift it up over his shoulders. He doesn't have any strength whatsoever.
Can't even lift it to begin with.
It ends up resting on top of the seat so he can take a break, and then he can, "Someone help me." It's like, yeah, I'll help you. I'm going to throw you in that motor.
I always want him to get it in there and then not be able to get it out. The problem is, what annoys me as a traveler is someone that has a giant bag, can't fit it in where they're seated, and then they have to shove it in somewhere way behind them.
Yeah.
So rather than wait for everyone to get off, they go against the grain, against the flow of traffic, and make everyone else wait while they pull on their stupid bag.
Yeah.
Number 2, the thing that annoys flight attendants the most, scrambling to leave the plane before the seatbelt signs are off. Like the people who burst into the aisle before you're even at the gate.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying. It's like,
Number 1,
where do you think you're going to go?
Most annoying thing to flight attendants.
Being late.
Nope.
No.
Snapping your fingers at them. That's annoying to anyone who deals
Oh, for sure.
in the service industry.
Excuse me.
Well, I guess if you just say, "Pardon me," no, I guess you just wait till they're in front of you.
Well, they have that. Or even put your hand up.
Well, they have
whatever,
that.
But
you can just hit the button that goes ding.
I think being snapped at, there's just something about that it'd be no different than if you clapped at someone went. You'd be like, "Screw you! What the hell's that, man? Just put up a finger or something. I'll see ya."
While that wouldn't be a good Joe stunt on his own, that needs to be part of a Joe stunt the next time you're at a place with a wait staff where you need to. Excuse me.
Clap for the help.
Make him have several devices that can get attention, including like a whistle, a cowbell.
Maybe that's the stuff.
Clapping, snapping.
Yeah.
A small
service bell.
Producer Joe's needy customer.
The Serve Me Now challenge.
A small amplification device.
You're my slave challenge.
Producer Joe Zane's mom challenge is what we'll call it. My mom is very, very not nice to anyone who works in the service industry.
Yeah, that's no good.
Remember Wally wrote that clandestine email, my mom's husband, about how much I was 100% right about used to be that way. She still is. She makes my skin crawl whenever we go out somewhere because she's so damn insulting. I'll bet you, has eaten 500 gallons of spit.
I remember when we were stuck in Orlando that time and they took us out. We were on the way to the restaurant.
She's a rude lady.
You said, "Look out." And sure enough, man, Logan's didn't bring the rolls right, and it was on for that way.
Everybody starts looking down at the table.
Excuse me, darling.
We all bury our faces in the menu.
She is mean as a snake.
I've ordered the same thing every time I've gone for a decade, and I stared at that menu like,
So, what do you got new heart healthy on here? What, you still got that mac and cheese? Okay.
You know what? I've got a new lease about my mother, and whenever she makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to tell her.
Yeah.
So the next time that happens, I can't wait to just say, "Do you realize for 43 years that I've been seeing you, you've always done this. You've always ripped on somebody when they didn't, because how the hell is that fun?" I mean, I can see once in a while because something really crazy happens, but then maybe they'll fix it for you if you're nice enough, and if you just explain it to them. How the hell do you find, is this good? How does this become an enjoyable dining experience? My God.
It's pretty brutal.
I need the power.
Oh,
I think that's what it is.
I guess, yeah.
That's what it is. On the way in the next segment, it's a combine versus someone who's sleepy. Guess who wins?
a combine, so massive farm equipment that they use at this time of the year for the big harvest.
Yep.
Something bad happened?
I'd say so. Life can be unpredictable. Sometimes you just can't get to everything that needs to be done, like backing up your computer files. So do what we did. Get Carbonite Online Backup. Carbonite backs up your files automatically so you don't have to. It's great, man. You don't even have to think about it. You know they're safe.
Yeah, you can't forget. And then when something goes wrong, which inevitably it will at some point, if you haven't had a computer crash yet, you're just lucky so far. Someday it's going to happen. And if you don't have your stuff backed up, you are going to be sad. Don't be sad. Be prepared. Get Carbonite. It'll back up your files for you automatically and continually. And it's only $59 for a year of awesome insurance, unlimited backup space for your computer, access to your backed up files from any computer, tablet, or smartphone. Plus, Carbonite is great if you've got a small business, you've got multiple computers. It has plans to back up all of them.
So you have an external hard drive and you think, I don't need this because I back up myself. And look, human nature, you're going to forget to back something up, and after a few weeks, let's say you had 50 photos in that time, and then your computer dies, well, that's it, man. You lost something very important, and you will never get it back. Carbonite, every time you save something, it's backed up. Automatically, you don't think about it. Go to Carbonite.com, type in the offer code FREEBEER. We have set up for you a free trial, no credit card needed, plus 2 free bonus months with your subscription. That is for you because we love you. That's Carbonite.com, offer code FREEBEER.
Up next, the Combine versus the Sleeper. More qualifiers for Dumber Than Zane trivia on the way. And also, what sort of statistics would the average bed see as far as things that take place there?
Okay. I thought this...
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Top of the hour, the average bed. It'll make more sense when we get there. Apparently 27 years ago today, some people say it was the best television interview of all time. I don't think that's true.
27 years ago?
Yeah.
I think here.
You won't know it.
Okay.
It's not like a major historical moment.
Okay.
It was a goofy pop culture moment on the Today Show.
Okay.
Where they interviewed someone about the satanic toaster, and I watched it last night.
Oh, okay.
Begrudgingly, and I laughed out loud.
Wait, all right.
Okay.
So was this serious? Do you think that they were serious?
I think so. Well, I think the reporter pretended to be serious, and I think the people in the video, I think the woman being interviewed about her satanic toaster was in fact serious. This is along
1985, right?
I think so. Along the same lines of people who think that the Virgin Mary is crying in their oak tree or something.
Okay.
Did it seem like it was like a Daily Show piece? That it was so preposterous that
contextually
because
now,
the Daily Show, when they do their stuff, they always come across as very serious.
Well,
when they're doing something,
when it goes back to the main studio for them to throw to break, it goes to a very young Bryant Gumbel, and he is laughing. Great story. Oh. Man,
is that the guy on Real Sports?
Bryant Gumbel?
Yeah.
Yep. It was fantastic. Steve, have you had a chance to post the video of the Polish man whose St. Bernard is in the attic and he wants him to go downstairs?
I was actually just clicking on that right now.
St. Bernard is in the attic.
Yeah. It's hard to make a St. Bernard do something he doesn't want to do, like walk downstairs that he or she deems to be too steep.
So walking up, not a problem. Walking down, big problem.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, this news story that I had... There it is. I was about to say it's not here. I just can't see it. Joe said this story reminded him of something that I would say happened near my home where I grew up. A man sleeping in a field, scooped up by a combine.
Yeah, it seems like something that could happen at Breezebow.
That was a friend of yours when you were growing up. Why, was he known for sleeping in fields and being intoxicated?
No, but he was the one that always gets hurt. Reading all those great stories where he ran into the picnic table.
This is a non-Breeze. This is not the same. This is not Breezebow related.
No, his were crazy because he was a really good athlete. But he did have that terrible moment when we were playing kick and catch. Pretty simple game.
Yeah.
How does it go? I kick it and you catch it. And then you do the same.
You kick
and
it
I
way high.
skied one high.
You camp under it.
And he was running and motioning like Ichiro Suzuki in the outfield. Eyes focused on the ball. Watch it into the hands. And then his shins met the bench portion of the picnic table approximately 1/10 of a second before his face met the table.
Double hit.
Wow. Still to this day, I mean, if that was on YouTube, it would have 2 million hits. I sincerely believe it.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
The kid would always get hurt while doing these incredible maneuvers. So we're gonna have to rescind that Breeze Bowl reference, Hot Wings. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is a non-incredible moment. A man taking a nap in a cornfield was run over Wednesday by a farmer who was harvesting corn.
Taking a nap, so he was like working and he decided to rest, or was he bombed from the night before, do you think?
It said he was passing through town on a Greyhound bus from Washington, D.C. Unclear where he was.
It was John Rambo. He's a
drifter. He's a transient.
But he was apparently in Montana and decided to take a nap in the cornfield.
Okay.
Good plan. Okay, good.
So the mechanism of that type of device, how does it, how does it work? I'm not familiar with. I mean, I know what a combine is, but
sure.
Is this type of thing where it just rips them apart right there, or does it throw them into like a grinder type setting, or a wood chipper? Or?
They have different heads on the combine,
okay,
and they each would kill you in horribly different ways. For example, if you were harvesting wheat and there was a hobo sleeping in there,
okay,
or in my grandfather's case, a baby deer, here's what would happen.
No. Your grandpa.
Stick with something like a hobo.
What happened?
Something unloved.
Okay. All right, let's hear what would have happened if that device, that grandpa baby deer incident, and in this case, hypothetical to the hobo.
It looked like somebody painted the field behind the combine.
Oh, no.
Right out on a...
No kidding.
Yeah, because what it does is, for the wheat, it has knives that go back and forth to cut the wheat so that it falls, and then it has big paddle wheels that shove the wheat into, like, the throat of the combine, for lack of a better term, where it would then be sifted so the wheat would come out into the hopper and all the garbage would get shot out of the back. Well, there's no reason to put baby deer in the hopper, so it would all get sifted through and shot out in chunks in the back for raccoons to eat.
Oh, no.
Wow.
The day Gramps made the wheat bloody.
So basically, it was a deer slurry shot out onto the field. Baby deer slurry.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if it were a hobo just kind of standing there, it'd cut him off at the ankles, and then a paddle would shoot him across the field. In a hilarious way.
That's my theory. Yeah. Now, if it was like the header they had for beans, that thing would pick you up with a cylinder that had all of these little pointy things that stick out that would scoop, almost like a pitchfork, but it's on a cylinder that rotates to scoop the beans up and shove them in.
Not like a brush, though. Hard, rigid metal?
Yes.
Okay.
And so that would hurt, but it might even stab you, but it wouldn't kill you. However, once you were scooped into the header, it had these arms with pointy pieces of metal that would go down. They would raise up, go down towards the end of it, and then go to the ground to pull the beans backwards up towards, again, the throat of the combine, where once you get inside, you're dead.
Wow. So like the back of a garbage truck, kind of, where it comes down and pulls the garbage up.
Yes, but imagine if that, instead of being one thing that would cut in, it was maybe 10 feet long and had spikes all down it. I mean, these are implements of death. You don't want to sleep in a cornfield.
You know what? If you visit a farm, stay in the house.
It's a vehicle of torture.
Yeah, do not wander into a field ever.
The farmer, according to the article, here's the line. The farmer drove about 50 yards through the field and stopped when the combine shuddered. He thought he had driven over a fence post or an irrigation pipe.
Give it more gas.
He turned the machine off and could hear a man screaming. Oh, boy.
Oh, I got nothing.
Thank God it's not a deer.
I've even less to live for.
They were able to disconnect the equipment and manually turn the auger and the blades back in reverse.
Yeah,
so he was stuck in there at some point.
They backed him out.
So he did die.
I don't think so.
No?
He survives after being run over and eaten by a combine. So he didn't go all the way through.
If I would have, okay,
if the guy felt the shudder.
Knowing how much damage he was in, and I'm the farmer, and I stopped and I looked and I saw a guy caught up in the gears of a combine, I would have then said, okay, I need to do the right thing here. The right thing is to turn the motor back on and force his body through.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hit him again.
You go down there and use a stick to force him through.
Push him through.
I'm fine. It's only my hand. No, it's best for you.
Kind of like when you're snow plowing like slush and it gets caught up in your snowblower. You got to hit it with the stick to bust it out and then shoot it out. That's what you do to him.
Mm-hmm.
Or you let him, or you back him out the way he did, and then we run over him again.
No biggie.
It's quite a machine.
That's putting him out of his misery.
That's the way. Up next, the average bed. What are the stats? What sort of things happen on the average bed from the bedding industry? We'll take a break.
Free Beer and Hot Wings Show, featuring free beer.
When I was a kid, I had musical influences. My brother played Crocus, and my dad played Marty Robbins. Why didn't I invent some new genre, like scream, death?
That is a crazy influence, Crocus and old school country music. Mine was Neil Diamond and Roger Whittaker and Bob Seger.
Yeah.
Wow. When you said Crocus, that is the first time I've ever heard that word in my life.
Back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Joe and Steve here. We probably need to discuss the expanding sex scandal at the CIA now that there's another high-ranking military officer whose life is, in turmoil because of his genitalia and his decision-making.
I didn't know that there was, are you referring to Petraeus?
No.
What?
Another one. I forget his name, but it ties to the woman in Tampa that... I forget all the names, but remember the woman who wrote the biography about Petraeus was emailing a woman in Tampa. Well, turns out that woman in Tampa had been getting it on, or at least exchanging messages with another high-ranking military official.
Yes.
The guy who took over for Petraeus in Afghanistan, right?
That's General John Allen, the top U.S. commander in Afghanistan. He's under investigation for allegedly sending inappropriate messages. 20 to 30,000 emails.
20 to 30,000 emails.
Linked to the Petraeus scandal. There are a lot of weird layers here. Not to mention the FBI agent who was originally contacted then also began sending photos of himself to this Kelly woman in Tampa. It was...
What? Wait a minute. So
you
say the FBI guy who's supposed to report this was involved in something terrible too?
I've got to find the summary of it. There was a nice summary.
Okay.
If I can find that, it kind of breaks it down.
We'll circle back to that. Joe, I know every news organization in America is doing updates on this. Let's steal one of them and make it our own.
Okay.
That's a deal. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Really unbelievable.
Yeah.
If you go to freebeerandhotwings.com, that video of the Polish man helping his St. Bernard out of the attic of his home is up there. It's great.
Yeah, that's a big dog. Big dog. He has to get down the steps. Mm-hmm. Dog's trying like hell to keep from going down those steps.
Yep. Betrayed by hardwood floors. Otherwise, that dog would live upstairs for the rest of its life.
There's a new Bond movie coming out on Friday, right?
Or is it out already?
Or is it out?
I think it's out already.
What's it called again?
Skyfall.
Okay.
Skyfall.
Came out
supposed to be fantastic.
Friday.
Big budget,
Set records for Bond films. And
Steve, is there a place on the on freebeerandhotwings.com where the audience can see 37 Bond girls then and now?
Yeah, it's in the link section.
Okay, so for all these movies dating back to 1962, you've got what they looked like when they looked terrific and young and vibrant to, how age has ripped that from them. Just what a devastating, talk about a 100% winning percentage.
Yeah.
Age.
Yeah. Maybe 99.9, Jane Seymour.
Yeah, but she's not, it's eventually going to go away.
Yeah.
And she's in a class all by herself. She's the weirdest anomaly of aging ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly. I think a lot of it has to do with if they stay viable in terms of working, the more money they have from working, the better off their odds are of remaining vibrant.
Yeah.
Ursula Andress from one of the very first Bond films, Dr. No, in 1962. It might have been the first. I don't know.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think she's considered, yeah.
Man, what a knockout. And in any image you see of her from back then was incredibly attractive.
She's hot for any era.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not one of those things where she was hot for the time. Now, if that was a chick now, she's hot.
Yeah.
Now you can't take a picture of her without looking like she's really, really constipated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad news.
She looks like the movie poster for Awakenings.
That's a huge
There's a lady named
Robin Williams is going to throw her a tennis ball in a moment.
Daniela Bianchi seems to have aged wonderfully. Mm-hmm. She is a kind of an exception.
Yeah.
From 1963.
Yeah, one of the most disappointing ones on there, though, is Denise Richards, who was a Bond girl far more recently. I don't know what year.
What, 97 maybe?
Yeah. I mean, she was stunning, and you see her now, and she looks like she fell into a hot vat of butter.
Yeah, she looks a bit greasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not good. There's been
too much Botox.
Something is going on there. Yeah. Her lips are gigantic.
Yeah. Famke Janssen still looks great. Halle Berry still looks great. The more recent ones all still look pretty good.
With the exception of the most recent one.
From Quantum of Solace.
Is that Gemma Arterton?
I guess so.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. She played a character called Strawberry Fields. And she looks like she should be like a nanny somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Should be a hot nanny, but not a hot Bond girl.
She looks just normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just average, I mean.
You can see all of those at freebeerandhotwings.com. I've only seen 2 Bond movies, the 2 most recent ones, prior to this one that came out.
The last Bond movie I saw was from the Stupid era with Roger Moore. I mean, that's
Roger
how long,
Moore ones were
that's how
really,
long ago we're talking.
They were really campy.
Weren't they to the point where they were almost a parody?
Yes. They were absurd. I mean, he was so over the top, silly.
I saw,
I mean, when you watch things like Moonraker and
Octopussy,
I mean, they're just...
That's the last Bond film I saw.
They're entertaining in the same way that old episodes of Batman are entertaining. Ugh. You know, where it's, if you watch it for the silliness factor, it's okay. And there are some good, chase scenes and stuff like that. But otherwise, they're just dopey.
I think you'd like the new Daniel Craig ones if you haven't seen any in a while.
The new ones are great.
The first Daniel Craig one, Casino Royale, I think that was what it was called.
Yeah.
The opening sequence in that one.
It's fantastic.
Was one of the most awesome movie sequences I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's still, got some stretches in there in terms of what goes on with some of the gadgets and things like that. But it's more action like a Jason Bourne type of movie as opposed to like old school nonsensical things coming out of the hubcaps of the Aston Martin,
Yeah. All right. So what is the life like of the average bed? Someone put together a list of this. The average couple owns a mattress for 10 years, and they put together the study to see what sort of things the mattress would see over that decade on average. Now, most of this isn't about gross things.
It depends.
It's more about what takes place on the mattress.
If you're my wife's brothers, it'll see a dog's uterus. I'll never forget. The dog croaked on a bed, and they just flipped it over.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to sleep on the death marination, so we'll flip that over. It'll be good.
It's just leakage.
Yeah.
God, that's gross.
Probably only barely made it to the other side.
The average bed in 10 years sees 48 days of TV watching.
That's it?
Yeah.
In 10 years.
In 10 years.
A combined 48 days?
Mm-hmm. What does the average bed see? Now, there's there's a lot more stats. But the average bed sees 720 of these and 480 of these. Which one is arguments and which one is sex? So does the average bed see more arguments or more sex?
I sure hope it's more. The arguments is the less number.
I'm going to say arguments is the higher number.
So Zane says sex is higher. Hot Wings says arguments. Joe?
Yeah, but I think Hot Wings is right.
I'd say arguments.
Beck, I'm changing my vote. The higher number is arguments.
You could have a little minor argument. That's something that's not a big deal, but
720 arguments in bed in the average 10-year span. 480, as they refer to it, sex sessions, 48 per year on average. 720 arguments, man. That's a lot.
Yeah, that is. A couple times a week.
39 hours on the phone. 70 days on laptops and cell phones. 4,160 kisses.
0 in my bed.
2.
Does not like kissing.
No. What about on the cheek? You come home from work.
Well, that's one.
Kiss on the cheek.
That doesn't count. I'm talking about passion, open mouth,
making
tongue.
out. Yeah.
No.
Making out.
She's just like, get to it.
Get it over with.
No, it's not get it over. Shut up. She's going to kill you for that.
I know.
She just wants D. That's it. Get it over with.
Do you think you're a bad kisser?
I don't know. You'd have to ask.
I think she would tell you if you were. You two have the kind of relationship where
she might not.
If that was why she didn't like kissing and it was because you were a bad kisser, I think she would have told
you. I know she always starts cracking up every time she's laughing.
Maybe you make a funny face.
And then when she laughs, like she usually laughs through her nose, so snot actually goes in my mouth. And I go, well, I'm not going to kiss you anymore. Then.
No,
yeah,
that doesn't.
I can see where that would be a mutual decision, actually, if that's the way it goes.
I'll stay away. I'll just kiss your other mouth.
One of my wife's friends broke up with a dude that she thought she had real chemistry with because he was such a terrible kisser. Every time he would go in to kiss her and they'd start making out, he'd try to lick her teeth. Oh, yeah. Now, that's pretty weird, right?
Joe goes, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Joe, are you a tooth licker?
Oh, my gosh, no. That is just disgusting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That is sick.
She even told him to stop it. And he's like, I don't know. I think a lot of women like that. She's like, no, not this one.
You know what's the worst is when you're first starting to learn how to do it when you're early in high school or whatever, and you accidentally clang teeth.
No.
Oh, yeah. God.
It's the worst. It's like
that made my gums tingle now, just the thought of it. I'd rather eat a fork.
Nasty little tooth smack. I went in with a little too much gusto on that one. I came in hot.
Tooth clasher.
Oh, yeah. I haven't had it happen in a long time, but maybe I outgrew it. But every once in a while chewing, my top teeth would come down behind my bottom teeth.
Oh, that sucks.
And they would grind together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I still do.
Hadn't thought of that in years. It's going to happen today now.
You look like your average Cape May resident when you do that.
Mm-hmm. Out of 10 years for a mattress, how in years and months, how much actual sleep takes place out of 10 years?
I don't know. I can't do the math. I'm just going to guess 8 hours a day.
Yeah, let's go by average number of hours per day.
Okay.
That'll be easier.
Well, I can't do the math at the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, you said 8.
Well, I know, but
6.
For what are you actually asking for?
Out of 10 years,
yeah,
how many in years and months would actually be sleep?
Right.
But we can go average hours per day because they have that as well.
Okay.
So you said 8.
Yeah.
Howings?
I would say about 7 hours a day.
Joe?
6 average.
6.5.
Not enough.
No, man. That is
no
adults very few adults, I should say, get enough sleep.
No.
I mean, every study says that, but it's impossible to change it in most cases. Up next, the youth football bully or a guy who was wrongly accused.
This one is going to go. There is not agreement in this room. I can tell you that right now. I know that because we watched it off the air. So we'll see.
Yeah. Let's get 5 qualifiers for Dumber Than Zane Trivia right now. 1-800-947-3979. That drawing is tomorrow. If you get qualified and you're the one drawn out, you get a new pair of shoes or boots from Cat Footwear. And you could win 800.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Later on, we'll talk about those generals that are struggling.
Oh, yeah, big time.
See, real quick, before we get in this bit, you think I can borrow your turkey fryer for Loser Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Now,
yes, you can.
The thing is, I'm going to fry this turkey, and but you need the fryer the next day, yes? Yeah, I do, because I'm having some friends are coming.
Okay,
from out
so
of town.
basically, we fry the turkey, we leave the fryer outside,
Yep.
we let the oil cool, and then you take the vat of oil and dump it in the sewer.
Yeah, right down the sewer.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's what I did last year, and it seemed to work.
Well, of course it worked. That's the way you do it, though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I think I remember us getting a lot of phone calls and
I think
emails
you're
from
right.
people who work for the city saying that they were going to have to come out and, like, uproot things.
Is that what they said?
And dig through
Steve,
things and clogged sewers.
Is that right, Steve? Do you recall that happening?
Yeah, I recall that. But I still haven't seen them out to the house yet. So
They didn't-
I'm just
they haven't got
assuming
it.
that everything's fine.
So far, your area has not needed a sewer reaming.
Steve, I'm just following your lead on this, but you indicated to me in the kitchen that it's completely biodegradable.
Yeah, it's just how you do it.
What do they say you're supposed to do it?
I don't know. Donate it to somebody who's converted their car to run on cooking oil. Like that's the
Take it
only
to the quick oil change place.
Yeah, that's the only thing
dump it in
that
their thing.
that I would know what to do with.
I mean, as much as I do remember people saying you shouldn't do that, but if I did it at my house, what would I do with it?
Yeah, it's 5 gallons of it. That's a lot.
It's not the same as grease.
It's sunflower oil.
That, would get kind of hard.
Yeah.
Or peanut oil.
It's oil. It's
let it go.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
don't know, man. I'm on board. That's all it took.
Yeah, it's
all
not.
it took was me thinking, well, what else would you do with it? I don't know. Dump it out on the ground.
Fact of the matter is, it's still not our problem, right, Steve?
No, not at all.
I don't think that grease can rot metal or concrete.
No, it'll be fine. No problem.
Our tax dollars pay for equipment to keep our water clean.
You're saying it's good for the economy is what I'm hearing. That keeps people employed if the sewer backs up.
Well, it can't be worse than all the motor oil that washes in there.
Yeah,
that
and
just
I put
drips
that in
off
there,
of-
too.
That, people like Zane put directly in, or that just comes off cars and washes in every time it rains.
Yeah.
That's got to be worse. That's petroleum.
I'm guessing momentarily we'll get more official feedback on what is supposed to happen to 5 gallons of turkey grease.
And we're making the sewer smell like turkey. So everybody likes the smell of turkey.
I don't really pour used motor oil in the sewer. I only pour it in the backyard behind my shed.
Mm-hmm. Or directly in the river, where
don't
it goes
do that.
away fast.
No, 2 of those things are lies.
When I was a kid, my dad would do the oil changes for all of our cars and trucks and tractors and everything else, and we would dump the used motor oil at the end of the driveway to keep the dust down.
Yeah, that's what everybody did.
That's America.
That had a dirt.
It is.
Drive.
Then you'd walk to the mailbox and you'd step in petroleum.
It's a John Mellencamp song.
Yeah.
It's baseball, apple pie, and oil on your driveway.
Yeah.
Work like a charm, man.
It does. It works
Oh,
great. It's like it basically, if you put it down when it's nice and smooth too, it turns into like concrete.
It does.
It's great.
Absolutely.
Nice and smooth.
Steve, does anyone have? I see calls coming and going. Are they good suggestions, or are they just terrible?
Well, somebody said I could just reuse the oil the next day, but that seems like the poverty approach.
Well, you'd have
to transport 5 gallons of oil from Zane's house to my house.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't sound pleasant, transporting it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you can definitely use oil over and over.
How much is the oil? Is it expensive?
No, I think it was like $15 for a 5-gallon jug.
It'd have to be more than that before I'm going to haul it from one house to another.
Yeah.
It's because I'm stupid with money, apparently. But 1-800-947-3979. So this story was on Good Morning America yesterday. I kept seeing them running the video. It's a Utah youth football coach, a volunteer, coaching 12 and 13-year-olds, I believe. And in it, you'll hear them talking about the video. The player runs toward the sideline with the football, and no one goes back. The coach and the kid make contact, and you'll hear the rest.
On tape at a youth football game, a coach collided with a 7th grader on the opposing team. Police said it was a deliberate hit, charged him with assault. But as ABC's John Miller reports, the coach says the tape tells a different story.
It's the split-second shove dividing a Utah community. Just a routine football play.
That's the coach.
Run off the field there's turned into a nightmare.
Watch again as Coach Nate Harris appears to push a player from the opposing team during a game October 6th. Here it is slowed down. You can see Harris make contact with the 13-year-old as he's running down the sideline.
No, when they say push, I think if you were to describe his posture as he's immovable to a kid, but I don't know if he met him with force. I think he's forced himself because he's twice the size of the kid.
I think his mistake is because their wording makes it seem like he almost attacked the kid.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's accurate, but I do think he's guilty of making no effort to get out of the way and then bracing with a much larger size and just battering the kid, and you'll hear that it caused
because
damage.
he's a big dude to begin with, so it's significant enough that the kid was like running into a wall basically. Most people probably would have tried to sidestep and corral the kid, because it's a kid and it's
he could have bear hugged the kid basically to slow him down.
And by the way, the coach is standing on the sideline. And when I say on the sideline, I don't mean on a few feet back. He is on the out of bounds line.
It would look like his toes are right on the line.
At the very least, clearing out would have also worked.
Yes, absolutely.
I would say of all the options, the one he chose is the absolute worst.
Yes.
Contact with the 13-year-old as he's running down the sideline, knocking him down. The 7th grade player, whose name has not been released, appeared to get up quickly, but he reportedly suffered a season-ending concussion. His mother later spoke off camera to a local TV station.
He actually stepped in, folded his arms, and went up under his chin and just flattened him.
Now, what she said is 100% not accurate.
At least that's not what I see.
You do see one arm go up, I think, very clearly, but the other arm seems like it stays down.
Yeah, he's stopping the kid with his arm, and that's enough to knock him for a loop. But she's not accurate.
The most awful thing I've ever witnessed in my life, coming from a grown man.
After the hit, Harris was ejected from the game. But when this grainy video began circulating, he was also arrested, booked on second-degree felony child abuse.
Whoa. At no point was any harm meant to be done. It's affected my business.
Okay, I think we should piece this guy's word. You think we should break his words down piece by piece?
What do you mean?
The fact that he said, no harm was done. I don't know if
there was definitely harm done. I mean, you made a mistake. I don't think there's any question about that.
Maybe no harm intended.
Felony child abuse.
At no point was any harm meant to be done. It's affected my business, my reputation.
In an exclusive interview, Harris and his attorney now say the new video, shot from a different angle, backs up their claims. Look at the difference in the two videos played side by side.
Yeah, I think the video speaks for itself. You're going to defend yourself. You see a football helmet coming at you 20 miles an hour. You're not going to let it hit you in the chin.
Prosecutors agree.
See, I thought that actually convinced me more that this guy's a monster. Rather than just saying, I'm sorry, I should have gotten out of the way. I wasn't thinking. I reacted without thought, and I am horribly sorry that this kid was hurt. It's terrible. And he probably would get a pat on the wrist, and maybe people would understand. But in the video, you guys mentioned it off there, he sort of hovers over the kid. In that moment, it didn't look like he made any attempt to say, whoa, are you okay? Like, wow, that really surprised me. And the fact of the matter is, the kid's running towards him, and this lawyer's saying, well, if a helmet's coming towards you 20 miles an hour, you're going to defend yourself. No, we all see football.
We already talked about that.
You run towards the coach on the side, you get out of the way.
Because you're in harm's way.
It's standard procedure in football at all levels. And this guy's a big musclehead, and I don't think that helps him.
No, it isn't. No. His appearance is that of big, thick guy. Probably used to play and probably was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going back and forth on this, man. It's crazy how this has changed.
To drop the felony charges, citing a lack of physical injury. But late last week, Harris was charged with misdemeanor assault and will now head to court next month. The father of 6 says even the lesser charges are unfair. But this morning, he also says he understands how the players' parents feel, especially since his own sons, number 7 and 34, were also on the field.
I took the hit. It might have been a different story if I jumped out of the way and my son had been hit in the head or something and been hurt.
All right, since the incident, Harris has been sidelined as a coach. He says his business has suffered and he's been losing clients. He's expected to make his initial court appearance in court on December 13th.
Child safety advocate.
It's a tough one. George, Amy?
The tape is pretty ambiguous, but why didn't he help the kid up?
Good point. I think a lot of people would have felt a little better if he instantly reached out.
I think you're right. The whole argument, I took the hit. Well, get out of the way, stupid. You didn't like jump in front of a bullet. You're not Secret Service.
Or slow him down.
Yeah.
He's so big. I mean, he really could have sidestepped and put his arm out and kind of cradled him and just slowed him down.
You can see this video at freebeerandhotwings.com. The idea and the whole argument, if I didn't, I guess you would have run my kid over and then it'd be a different story. Well, that's not what happened.
Well, yeah, and not likely because the kids were standing about 8 feet apart. That's a pretty big space for the kid to run through.
They'd get out of the way, too.
Yeah. More than likely. Yeah, probably.
Thanks, Woody Hayes.
Yeah, that's what it's reminiscent of.
But,
big time.
I'm not Steve, sure what his intentions were, and it's hard to know what exactly is fact on that, but I do know this. His family is really white.
Steve,
Utah.
Steve, you and I were the dissenters initially on this, but I've obviously changed my opinion about it after hearing more and thinking about it. What is your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think that he intentionally, like the mother said, he put up both of his arms and tried to knock his head off. I don't think that happened. He definitely should have gotten out of the way.
What about charges against this guy? You think charges?
No.
I'll go around the room on this.
No, I don't.
Joe, do you think it's appropriate to charge this man?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hot Wings?
No.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you're going to play around with boys and punch them?
I can't watch this without it looking like he was thinking he was teaching the kid a lesson.
I think
because of his reaction and everything else.
I'm gonna agree with you. I barely agree with you, but I do agree with you. I think he should get in some type of trouble for this.
I don't know about this. I mean, they talked about a couple of different specific charges that seem really harsh. I don't think it should ruin his life.
Is there a way they can go back and look at old cases of times that there's been incidents, and if there's any...
I guess if there's a precedent, they will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, if this is a first time
because football
issue.
Is stupid.
If he gets ejected every other game because he's a hothead, then that definitely would change my opinion.
Some character references.
Let me put it to you this way: if you want to determine whether or not someone is stupid, if they're coaching football, they're stupid.
Yeah,
here we go.
I'm with you.
I'm surprised we don't get more butthurt football players and
it's
fans.
Such a meathead
because you guys are so
dumb. Well, football coaches are idiots.
Well, it's because they used to be players, and players are idiots.
Pretty broad strokes you're painting with.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But
we have a what to do with your turkey oil update, though, as we go back and forth on things. Jeremy in Traverse City.
I already know.
Jeremy,
how you guys doing today?
We're great.
Good.
Good. There's actually a few different options that you could do. It is just a fat, so you can compost it if you have a compost pile. Take it to a friend's house. They have a compost pile.
Just pour it in the ground,
you
then?
You can probably take it to a local restaurant. They have grease dump bins.
Okay.
And since it isn't fat, probably dumping it in the yard probably wouldn't hurt anything either.
What about pouring them on a group of seagulls?
Group of seagulls PETA would probably be pretty mad at that, but I know how you guys feel about PETA. All
right, well, pouring it in the ground. I mean, I got a compost pile. It's full of leaves from this past season and dog feces.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect. Honestly, that actually does sound like the perfect.
Steve, we're not going to pour it in the sewer. We're going to pour it in the backyard.
I did that last year because when I went to dunk the turkey and I realized I had a little too much oil, so I didn't want to be on one of those Allstate commercials where I burned my house down.
Yeah.
So I took a pot and I stuck it in there and I scooped.
You bailed it. You bailed it.
A couple inches of it.
Yeah.
And just threw it in the yard. And the dog licked that spot in the backyard for about 6 months.
Your yard was delicious.
Yeah.
Instantly, it was a giant dog treat.
A big dog lick.
So if you're okay with that, then man, pour it anywhere.
Absolutely. Buddy Bobcat Face will love that.
He will. He will. He's going to think it's awesome.
What's that, Joe?
I said just put it in the bowl. Just feed it to your pets.
Yeah, in lieu of water.
Yeah.
It's natural.
They love it.
You're that guy.
Delicious.
It turns into fertilizer. It's a baby food, cat food.
A baby dip.
Is there anything that used cooking oil can't do?
Make your babies delicious.
Joe, if Zane brings in a small cup of it, will you eat a spoonful of it if we warm it up?
Absolutely.
Joe, you should do that.
No, it's so.
Joe, I don't think
delicious and safe.
Joe,
that's so gross. It's gross, but I doubt if it would hurt.
Joe, I don't think that's a winning thing.
It's nutritious and a laxative.
A spoonful.
I'm sure that what you're saying is true. I don't think delicious. Laxative, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, I think you're really getting way too into this sunflower oil thing too much.
Top of the hour. It's a very old interview from the Today Show, but it's funny. It was. I don't know if it was meant to be. I'm sure some people thought it was supposed to be funny. It's
Email the show. Idiots at freebeerandhotwings.com.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Later on, the interview with the woman who sent out a pretty racist tweet after the election.
Oh.
I think that's an understatement for
I think so. Super racist tweet.
Yeah. She's in some trouble.
What an idiot.
Today, by the way, people are still recovering from Superstorm Sandy and the nor'easter that followed shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Gas rationing ends today in New Jersey.
Yeah,
which is hard to believe it's been going on that long, but that's that's how bad it is. They were showing on the news last night people going back to LBI, being allowed back on Long Beach Island, which we have a lot of listeners there.
Oh, God, I can't imagine.
But still not able to go to their homes on a permanent basis. They're only allowed to basically visit with a curfew, from what they said, right, Steve?
Yeah, I called Andy Chase yesterday. I talked to him for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And he said that they're basically meeting you meet at a high school, you get on a school bus, and they bus you over. And he said that they gave you 4 to 5 hours to go into your home. This is for the Seaside area.
Mm-hmm.
4 to 5 hours, you go into your home, you get to fill 2 suitcases. And that's all you get to bring back with you.
Man. I can't imagine.
So is LBI the type of situation where basically they'll have to bulldoze the entire island, remove everything that's on it, and then everybody starts over?
I don't know. I guess depending on the areas, that might be the case.
I'm sure for stretches of it, that is the case, where everything's a total loss.
Yeah, looking at some of the aerial views, it seems like there were a lot of homes that were in pretty good shape. As many as were also destroyed, but there were several that, they may have gotten a little flooding, but the structure looked sound, and so those should be okay. They should be able to salvage
the
those.
Bridges are all okay to get? Everything is fine?
Yeah, I had asked him about that because I remember hearing that the bridge into Seaside, there was structural damage. But I guess it wasn't, after further inspection, it wasn't as bad as they thought it was.
Well, I thought the whole road was gone. When you looked at those aerial photos, it was like there was a new channel there that went across.
That was Maniloking.
Yeah.
Was that Okay.
Yeah, and they were able to, because I said to him, I was like, well, is there just going to be a channel there now, or the ocean and the bay going to connect? He said that they've already repaired the breach, and they're just going to, I guess, fill it in again.
Wow.
Pretty amazing. There's a great website that our sister station and the station where we've been on for years, 105.7 The Hawk, and Town Square Media have put together, restoretheshore.com. Steve will post a link to that in the slideshow, the picture-changey thing.
Yeah.
And it has all of the information for people who are affected, obviously, from Sandy Hook to Cape May, as it says. You can also donate wherever you are. You can donate and try to help out, which would be pretty good. They need a lot of different stuff, a ton of different stuff.
We love that picture-changey thing.
Remember the Friday song?
Oh, God, I gotta get
from
that.
Rebecca Black?
Of course.
That was...
I think I got that handy.
That was, I guess... Could you call it a hit? It wasn't a hit.
Absolutely.
But it was so big.
It paid for it. She made a lot of money on that.
It was
Probably
definitely
paid for college, right?
It was definitely a hit.
Boy, I wonder how much money it made that company, because they retained most of the rights.
Boy, it had to be a lot, yeah.
Well, the person who wrote that song put together another song with more excellent writing, and another artist this time, because that company that did that is one that gives people, like, you pay $2,000 and you get to have the experience of singing a song and making a video.
Yeah.
And so another mom and dad bought it for their kid, this time a young girl, I think 9 or 10, I think even younger. Joe, do you know what her age is?
I don't know anything about her.
Even younger than Rebecca Black, but the song is called it's Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Get ready.
Good. Okay, great.
We can play this at Loser Thanksgiving, guys.
Sure can. And you'll want to.
All right. Okay. There's a video coming in, of course. It's got to have something catchy. I don't know if we're there yet. This isn't going to do it.
It's going to have to get catchier.
December was Christmas. January was New Year.
No, this is not. This sucks.
The strong beat is too strong. It washes out the vocals.
Here it comes. You were until you showed up.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not having a good time.
This is not going to catch fire like Rebecca Black.
No.
Like Rebecca Black Friday. It was so over the top stupid, and the way she sang it was stupid, which is what made it great. This just sucks.
Yeah.
On the video.
And not in a charming, hilarious way.
The other one was catchy stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. Boy, this kid is awkwardly young.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't like that she shoots it all in her bedroom.
Yeah.
It's all just... Yeah, I don't want to...
It's uncomfortable.
It is uncomfortable. I don't like a kid doing sultry poses. This is a bummer. I feel like a pedophile watching this, Joe, and the kid is completely clothed, doing nothing but walking down the street. This is awful.
I think it's because typically the thing she's doing you would normally see with an adult woman with her tubes pushed out.
Joe says because there are guys that would also like to shoot it in her bedroom.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I would, for this reason alone, you would never want to put your kid on a video like this because there are guys who will.
Well, where did I think he's the guy that writes the songs? He's the Arc Music guy. Because I think he was in the Rebecca Black one too.
He was in the Friday song, too.
Oh, the classics.
I mean, at least this chick was old enough to make a baby.
Well, that one might be, too.
No.
Plus, she's too ugly for any pedophile to like.
It's a pretty ugly kid, but I don't know.
She's not ugly.
Spoken like the straight voices of Elmo.
Did you say she's too ugly for any pedophile?
Come on, man. She's a cute kid. The song just sucks. That's all.
Yeah. Say mean-spirited things that are hurtful about that black guy that wrote it.
Yeah. Save it for the truly ugly, Joe. There's a lot of them. Don't water down ugly claims.
I don't know who's worse. The person who says cute kids shouldn't get insulted or picked on in any way, or Joe just making that statement, or me agreeing with it, because I think it's a great joke. I thought that was an excellently placed joke.
Thank you.
She's too ugly for a pedophile.
Up next, the interview that still stands the test of time with the woman who has a satanic toaster.
All right.
This is something from the Today Show, 27-28.
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Remember the time when we were actually letting your Rolodex take a walk, and most of the numbers didn't work, but the one that did was Spock?
We love going to we love to make Star Trek people feel bad.
So he answers the phone.
That was called
Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. Hey, it's the Free Beer. Hey!
Hey, it's the Free Beer and Hot Wings show.
Hello.
And we go, hey, we're calling to talk to you. And he goes, I'm taking care of a sick friend. And we're like, what? No, let him go.
Now is not a good time.
They're going to die. Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, but what about the Bilbo Baggins
song? You ever put the ears in your butt?
See you later.
It's time for the Free Beer and Hot Wings show.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Two producers, Joe and Steve. You can join us anytime, 1-800-947-3979. Hot Wings Zane, there's a new meme on the internet.
Yes, I know what that is. I can now be caught up to speed in this conversation.
Okay.
Since
Features
I'm all about meme.
A photo of General Petraeus talking to the other general whose name I can't remember, maybe Jim Allen.
George Allen? Steve Allen.
Or whatever his name is.
Something Allen.
The other one that's embroiled in the scandal now. And
John Allen.
In the photo, he's pointing at a computer, and Petraeus underneath it says, whatever you do not hit reply all. It's a good lesson.
It is.
Reply all is bad, and so is your execution of that line.
Yeah. Nothing worked out for me.
Whatever you do.
So this video was making its rounds yesterday. It is an interview from the Today Show 28 years ago, yesterday.
Why does this stand out to me as something I've seen before? I swear, I think I might have watched it when it aired.
It's possible.
I had never seen it, but, man, I sure thought it was funny. It's an interview with people who believe that they have a toaster that has the devil inside.
Possessed toaster.
Possessed by the devil.
And the swing of it, it becomes normal. I mean, if you've seen a haunted toaster.
Right here where it says put one slice, we heard, I am the devil.
What kind of voice did the devil have?
You gotta understand, this lady, it says June O'Brien.
Yeah. Probably 55 years old.
Yeah, I mean, just...
Anytown, USA.
Perfect for the era, early to mid-'80s, attire, hair, really... serious, 100% serious about this.
A very low voice, I'd say, sounded like Eli Wallach.
Have you saved any of this satanic toast?
Yes, I did save it because...
Okay. She saved the satanic toast.
She already indicated that the toaster actually said, I am the devil.
Yeah.
In the voice of a person I don't know.
Now, I have a lot of favorite parts in this short video, sort of like in Monty Python and the Holy Grail, like where you can watch it and go, oh, that's my favorite scene. Oh, no, this one's my favorite scene. Okay, when she tells about the saved toast, it's so far my favorite.
Toast?
Yes, I did save it because I wanted to be sure that somebody else would see it. Now, this one, can you see that, Richard? Satan lives.
Wait, what?
It is a burnt piece of toast with the words Satan lives clearly scratched into it. So clearly, it had to have been done with a stencil.
It's clearly scraped off with the edge of a knife or something. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious that it didn't, in fact, cook that way.
See that, Richard? Satan lives. Just terrible.
Is the toaster still possessed?
We still have trouble off and on with it, yes.
She's trying to put a piece of toast in. Won't stay down. Won't stay down. Force it.
I just hold it down.
It seems to be aware.
Okay, now. Oh, now, come on. Okay. Wait a second here.
This is the most preposterous thing I've ever seen.
Explain what just happened.
She put the piece of toast in, and it wouldn't stay in, so she's shoving it down with her ham hock arm, and eventually it does stay in, and after it toasts for about 10 seconds, flames shoot out of the top. Like a blowtorch.
I just hold it down.
It seems to be aware.
Did you notice she pushed it back and she pushed it away?
Yeah.
And she sat back.
Yeah.
Because she knew it was going to do that.
Yeah, clearly, boy, there's no way you knew there were magnesium shavings in there or anything.
Be aware.
Why have you kept this toaster?
Well, Richard, when all is said and done, It makes good toast.
For today, Boyd Matson, NBC News, Boca Raton, Florida.
I'm sorry. Jane says she's got a refrigerator sounds like Burt Lancaster. We'll come back in just a moment. 43.
That's right. I'm punching out. That's right.
I am so white.
I am Brian Gumble, and I'm a hunky.
Sorry. Jane says she's got a refrigerator sounds like Burt Lancaster.
My name should be Roy.
We'll come back in just a moment. 43.
Well, Richard, it makes good toast.
Jeez. Why did they do this story?
I don't know, man. I really enjoy when fire shoots out. I enjoy Satan lives on the bread. There's nothing I don't love about this.
That is
stupid woman.
Well, I think she's an actress.
Yeah, a terrible one.
There must be something we don't know about the beginnings and ends of this. It had to have been a spoof for Halloween or something. I mean, they couldn't have possibly interviewed this woman and she thought that what she was saying was true.
Well, they said it debuted 28 years ago yesterday, so November 12th, 1984. Maybe there was some pop culture moment. I don't know.
Well, she had to have been possessed. Because how else can you explain the toaster?
Yeah.
She was clearly lying. I mean, there's no doubt she knew.
I think she's an actress.
Every one of her mannerisms suggested that. It's preposterous.
Okay.
Well, just holding up the toast alone that said Satan lives, it was just ridiculous.
We still have trouble with the toaster sometimes.
There's
definitely not going to be fire shooting out.
This is her.
My!
5 days earlier, she's looking at the newspaper, and she opened up the classified. She says, wanted. Fat actress needed to play part of stupid, dopey woman who believes that her toaster is satanic. Apply within. Whoa.
I know about toasters and Satan. The look we're looking for is Boss Hogg's wife. That's me. I look like that. Has to wear lots of denim and shop at Dress Barn. Fashion bug credit card is needed. Does your hair look like one of the characters in Spaceballs? Good news.
I don't know why the one ad has her voice.
She's reading aloud.
That's right.
Yeah, she's reading it out loud.
Are you ugly and fat? If you are, go to this place. Well, I don't have as much denim as I'd like, but everything else fits the bill.
I'll bet that lady has, in fact, said, I don't have as much denim as I'd like.
By the way, homework assignment for the audience. If your parents wear lots of denim, you need to take a cell phone picture of them wearing their denim.
We want to see the best denim outfit in America.
We want to have a Freebird Hot Wings show. Our parents wear too much denim beauty fashion show.
Yeah, not jeans, obviously.
Well, if they're giant jeans, with the 2-foot zipper,
elastic waistband
to cover the bunt.
It helps if they're jeans that have all of that and also some kind of aftermarket embroidery of some sort.
Right. Yeah. Also, if you want to just take snapshots of closet stuff, if you go to the parents' house for Thanksgiving, lay out their denim on their bed when they're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, the good news is that often, I would say that people covered head to toe in denim don't realize that they look silly. So when you say, hey, Ma, can I get a picture taken with you? I want, for whatever reason, make up any reason. They're like, okay. Because they want to be around you. They're your mom. Yeah. So you can easily get a photo.
Okay, on our wish list, hard to find Holy Grail type items are a denim hat. And denim shoes and denim socks.
Yeah. Denim gloves.
Denim gloves. The more denim, and we will award the Freebird Hot Wings show.
Let's give a year-long VIP to the person who can send us the person wearing the most denim.
Yeah.
Okay? Can't be you.
Can't be yourself. It can't be you. Yeah, it's definitely got to be a mom or grandmother, aunt, whatever. And then I enjoy greatly, I would like to see the shortest pants that are in fact pants. You know those pants where they're like super floods that a lot of older ladies wear.
They're not intentionally capri pants?
No. This is all stuff my mom wears, man. Everything you've described, that we've described, my mom wears.
It's like they want to make sure that their duck boots don't touch the bottoms of their cuffs.
I got to get my pants extra tall. Whoa!
Shanna
writes,
so
high, they're showing some nice sock.
Shanna writes, I accept your denim challenge. Oh, yeah. We don't call my dad Denim Dan for nothing.
Oh, yes. Denim Dan.
Because congratulations, you've already almost won.
You expect this thing out of older ladies, but older men, if you've got a Denim Dan in your family, we want to see that.
If your dad dresses like Jay Leno, you're already close to winning.
Yeah. We all wear jeans, obviously, but, it gets to a new level when it goes to what we've described. My stepmom used to have a 72 or 73 AMC Gremlin with Levi's seats.
She had the Levi's edition?
Yeah, she did.
Gosh, that is a rarity, man.
Cost hundreds of dollars.
I'll bet you now, because
it's worth a lot of money.
The Gremlin
good one.
is an underrated car. It was fast as hell because they were tiny with this straight six.
Yeah, the only flaw was the gas tank was made out of paper and in the back next to an open flame.
Dude, the Rally Sport Gremlin. I think you're getting your cars mixed up.
That's a Pinto, man.
Yeah,
Pinto was the one that blew up all the time when you hit it.
Yeah, but the Gremlin was fast and just ridiculously ugly.
That was its biggest downfall. It was ugly as sin.
That's not that big of a downfall for a car. Ridiculously ugly.
Yeah,
no, barely.
This person writes, denim shirt and jeans combined equals a Canadian tuxedo. I had never heard that before, but that makes sense. On the way in the Free Beer and Hot Wings report.
I know we have to get to this racist at some point, and we have to talk about the general also on the way.
Yeah, those are both a lot of things.
God, we got the Elmo pedophile. Jesus, there's so much to talk about.
The next 40 minutes of the show are dedicated to the downfall of people who had good careers a week ago.
Oh.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Okay, selfish questions. One for Free Beer. Are you yet caught up on Boardwalk Empire?
I am not.
Okay, enough for that. Joe, are you caught up on Walking Dead?
Oops, I'm sorry.
What was that?
I have yet to watch the latest episode. Okay. Other than that, yes.
What a crazy turn of events that Zane is out in front on all these shows, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's reversing a decade of trending. It's all because of life changes.
Yeah, your kids got older. We had the kids.
My babies are getting older. I mean, the only time that this would go back is if, like, I had another baby.
Yeah, and that ain't happening.
No.
As far as we know.
Right.
It's not.
Right. So I'm not, definitely. There's no way. My wife has no plumbing. It's been ripped out of her.
Yeah, you've described that in gory detail many times.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. Women really like that phrase.
Yep.
That's audio.
And then splat.
Yep. There's a little extra space in and around the torso area.
Hey, lost 5 pounds of ute.
Easiest weight loss ever.
So the next 40 minutes or so of the show are all about people whose careers were going along great until something changed recently. Careers and their lives. Because these are the kind of catastrophic moments that happen in people's lives because of decisions they make or allegations that are made that change things forever. Now, only one of the things we'll talk about is an exception to that in the Free Beer and Hot Wings report. But later we have to talk about the voice of Elmo and the allegations against him. Even if he's innocent, too late. It's already out there. Toothpaste is out of the tube.
Even if he's innocent, it's still very weird.
It is very weird. But let's start with there were actually maps that people put up that showed the intensity of racist tweets from around the country, which regions had the most racist tweets about President Obama winning re-election.
Now, to be clear here, there is a difference, in my opinion, of a person who makes a joke about a certain group. Can be called a racist joke. To me, there's a world of difference between a racist joke and racist hate. You know what I mean?
Well, absolutely.
I think that this is a perfect example of racist hate and then backpedaling by this person. And I don't know how the hell they think that they can pull this off. And it's just any woman. This is not a famous person. This is a 22-year-old lady from Turlock, California.
This is just a huge idiot.
Yep.
Named Denise Helms. She got fired from her job for posting something terrible about the president after he was reelected. I'll just...
I didn't think it'd be that big of a deal.
But the Secret Service does. The federal agency now aware of this Turlock woman because of her Facebook post following President Obama's reelection. Quote, another 4 years of this N-word. Maybe he'll get assassinated this term.
Oh. He's done absolutely nothing for this country. The assassination part is kind of harsh, and I'm not saying like I would go do that or anything like that by any means. But if it was to happen, I don't think I would care one bit. It's not.
Oh my God! It's kind of harsh. And if it happened, I can't.
The smartest woman in America.
Wow. It's not something I would dwell on. No. It's not something like I would be upset about. No.
For her part, Helms doesn't consider her words threatening.
Okay, but what did I do wrong? What are they gonna? That's fine if they want to. They're not like I don't understand what I did wrong.
Helms also went on to clarify that while she did use the N-word, she's not racist. She has many friends from many different nationalities.
Oh, that's what they always say.
The N-word?
Sure.
Oh, boy, you're a little snot.
Yeah,
You're a little sure.
This is good for you.
Yeah.
You are getting what you deserve. Some people do this, and you're sympathetic for them, and you say, all right, well, they meant it in a different way. This is a bad person.
She doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it. And
has no idea.
She's not 16. She's 22.
22.
She's already... The turkey is... Steve, the turkey in the fryer is already cooked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dump out the oil.
Yeah.
It's perfectly cooked.
The part of her life where she should be growing in her education, for the most part, has passed.
What happened to you that made you so fried? She was interviewed again, apparently, shortly thereafter. And now that some time has passed, she has this to say.
Are you a racist?
No, I'm not.
It sounds like you're a racist.
It does. And that's what everyone's been telling me. They're like, what you said sounded so racist. And it does, and I take it back. If I could erase what I said, I would.
Because you got in so much trouble.
Yeah,
because everybody has beat you up over it.
Yeah, and it's not like times have changed that much. Even when I was a soft-headed moron who didn't understand how the word fag could be so bad, if you had said to me as a 16-year-old, is the N-word bad? You'd go, yes.
Yeah.
You'd never say that.
Yeah.
That was years ago. I mean, this girl is stupid.
Yeah. Definitely true.
And a racist.
It sure seems like. And the funny thing is, and I'm not saying, she should like or dislike the president, but I bet she has no idea why she doesn't like him. I bet she has no idea. Like, if you gave her a list of conservative policies and a list of liberal policies, I'll bet she wouldn't be able to apply the right one to the right person.
No, because she said the blanket statement of, he's done nothing for this country.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's basically...
Like what has he done or not done? Well, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had nothing.
That sucks. Okay.
Man. Very brilliant.
I hate to hear that. I really hate to hear that.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty bad.
Man.
There's just a study they were talking about on the news that we'll probably talk about tomorrow about a university study that says America is getting dumber. And they have reasons to back it up. And deep down, don't you kind of believe that?
Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Why? For sure. Well, what's happened? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't think anybody's informed.
Do you think it has something to do with so much time is spent communicating on phones and things like that less time is spent actually getting to know something?
I think so. And I think it's so easy now with Twitter and Facebook for people to get informed with information that's not real.
Yeah,
because somebody puts something up there and then it gets sent out, boom, 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 to everyone, and you go, oh, I think I'm informed. Did you know that President Obama ordered the assassination of 4,800 Panamanians?
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah, my friend knows. He works in the government. No, he doesn't.
Truth doesn't matter anymore. It just matters that you see it online.
People used to actually read newspaper articles once in a while.
Yeah.
And now...
Or interact with people.
Or interact with people. And now it's gotten to the point where, all the people who used to be informed are all the old people who are dying off or don't have any communication with, really young people. It's the parents that are also stupid now, that are our age, that don't know anything and pass it on to their idiot kids.
Newspapers are largely, there is some news, but they make their living by posting blogs about the best recipes for soybeans and where to dance with fake stars and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And combine that with, shows that used to be news-based, like the Today Show and Good Morning America, for example, or even the nightly news on the networks. They all have to do entertainment-based stuff. That's why Brian Williams was talking about, as much as I loved him punching Donald Trump verbally in the mouth, he still was talking about on a news program where, 20 years ago there would have never been a chance that something akin to that would have been mentioned.
No.
Now, goodbye, soapbox.
It's true. You're all dumb.
And so are we. I bet we're dumber than people in similar positions before.
That. We're not dumb like that.
No. I mean,
and I'll bet there's a lot of people who continue to, who are like her, who are breeding, basically.
Yeah, half informed or barely informed, just enough to be dangerous to everybody.
Yeah. Adam in Nashville. Adam, go ahead.
Hey, guys, I was listening. I completely agree, but I almost think that there's too much information available. I've got a sophomore in high school and a 7th grader, and I sit down to do their homework, and they immediately grab a device. They don't know how to do long division because the computers tell them how to do it. If they have to look something up, they immediately go to the internet. They don't have to learn anything.
You know what? I don't mind so much a YouTube video showing you how to work calculus or something like that, because what that does is it basically puts a classroom a teacher in front of your kid.
Yeah, but what he's saying is that they're using a calculator or their phone or whatever to do the math work, which means that they're not learning critical thinking. That's the reason why we all had to take math.
I get it.
It wasn't because we were ever going to use calculus.
That's where you come in.
Yeah, I don't use any of it,
I don't use algebra.
That's where you have to say, you know what, that isn't what your teacher intended. Your teacher actually wants you to do the work on paper.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you do that.
Oh, yeah. I completely wipe the devices off the table, and I say, here's a pencil and piece of paper.
Go to
And
it.
it's amazing. It takes hours to do their homework.
I bet.
Because they don't have that skill, and I think America's that way.
And I think
it's too easy to pick up a device and find out what somebody said, and half the time it's wrong. We're not learning anything.
Right. You and the people like you are sadly the exceptions to the rules, because it's a lot easier just to say, oh, okay, did you do your homework? Cool, see ya.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you. 1-800-947-3979. Well, if you think it's bad for that racist, no-name girl that nobody would have heard of if she hadn't posted that on Facebook and Twitter, imagine being the voice of Elmo for the last couple of decades and now being accused of what he's being accused of.
All the things to be accused of all the people to be accused of something terrible.
Yeah.
I can't think of a worse combination considering how that voice has basically been one of the first voices that any child growing up in the past 20 years would recognize.
There are Boy Scout leaders and football coaches saying, whew, bad news for that guy.
Right.
Yeah, I think this would have been equivalent to this happening to Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in terms of the scope.
When it comes to the pedophile Mount Rushmore, you can add this face/voice to it.
And the thing is, he may be innocent.
You can add a figurative Boy Scout leader to represent all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can have Jerry Sandusky and this creeper, this character creeper, because that's what he's be identified with.
Yep.
I have 3 off the top of my head that are in the pedophilia Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Yeah, he may not end up on it, but he's the chisel work is being started.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some blasting going on.
Yeah, they're preparing.
You know what? Holidays are on the way, and a great gift would be SodaStream. That's the new way to enjoy great-tasting soda made fresh at home in less than 30 seconds. This thing is easy. We all got one about a year and a half ago and use it all the time. SodaStream Home Soda Maker, the ultimate holiday gift for the entire family. And it's smart. Transforms normal water into fresh, fizzy soda in seconds. You don't have to lug it. You don't have to store it. You don't have to dispense of the bottles and cans. It is simple.
I enjoy having access to this thing. I like using it. There have been so many times where you go to grab a soda and you realize you're out, and that sucks. That doesn't happen when you have the SodaStream because you go, oh, I don't have any? Great, let me just grab a little water here and put it on the machine. you put in the carbonation, then you add your flavor. You've got soda. You don't have to run out to the store. You don't have to lug anything. It's perfect right there in your own home.
Plus, it's fun and just cool to make it.
It is. Yeah,
you impress everybody.
You feel like you accomplished something.
Oh my gosh, loser Thanksgiving. I'm like, yeah, hey, I tell you what, who wants root beer? I believe I'm a root beer maker. Watch this. I'm a cola expert. I can do that. I can do anything. Check out SodaStream's.
It's good for your self-esteem.
It is, yes. It builds self-esteem.
Yeah, you've seen it before. Now we've told you about it. You've seen it at various stores throughout the area, so get it for somebody. Get it for a family member for Christmas. Check out SodaStream Soda Maker at Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, Walmart, Macy's, Kohl's, all there. SodaStream.com to find stores near you as well. SodaStream, smart, simple soda.
Up next, we'll tell you why there are going to be a lot of Elmo toys on eBay and Craigslist.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
This is the song, la 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 la, Elmo song.
Butt slam!
La 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 la, Elmo song.
I like it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, boy. It's in your butt.
To think he wrote this alone.
It's in your butt.
That works.
It does.
Yeah.
Too well.
He loves to sing, la 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 la, Elmo song.
It's in your
La
butt.
la la la, la
So this is
Elmo song.
My God.
Well, this
He wrote that music.
is one of those stories where the guy feels guilty just by the very allegation, and that's I'd say
he's guilty.
In general that is unfortunate. But that's also the way it goes. Now, feels guilty in public versus guilty in a court of law, that's a big difference. But either way, normal people wouldn't want either one of them.
No.
Kevin Clash, the puppeteer who controls the movements and provides the voice of Elmo, obviously on Sesame Street, is accused of having a sexual relationship with an underage boy several years ago. The accuser is now 23 years old, and he claims it happened 7 years ago, thus he was 16.
Wow, hot.
Kevin Clash is currently 52, which means 7 years ago, he was 45. So the allegation is that Clash, 45, was doing it with a 16-year-old boy.
God, man. And that isn't the only one.
Clash admits he had a relationship with the accuser, but he says it did not start until the kid was an adult.
Okay, so fine. Let's say he was, in fact, 18, and that makes him 47, and that still seems gross, regardless of sexual orientation or anything like that. Whenever you see 47 and 18, it seems wrong.
Yeah, regardless of if it's a man and a woman and a man, woman and a woman, or a man and a man.
It doesn't matter.
I would argue that the people who make Sesame Street, if they found out about his personal life, if it were all on the up and up, above age, they wouldn't want him doing that.
Yeah, it looks weird.
No.
Well, especially if he had not a physical relationship with him before that, but because he claims that he did have a relationship, but they waited until he was 18. Well, that means you were grooming him.
Yeah.
For a couple of years before that.
You were gay.
Well, and he did get in trouble from Sesame Street for, like, inappropriate internet usage or something, like sending emails. They did find him, that he was doing something.
So that's happened in the past.
Yeah, and but they're standing behind him on this deal.
They are
saying they have not found any evidence in their own investigations that anything weird happened. But
his statement said, "I had a relationship with the accuser. It was between two consenting adults, and I am deeply saddened that he is trying to make it into something it was not." He writes, he states, "I am a gay man. I have never been ashamed of this or tried to hide it, but I felt it was a personal and private matter." As Hot Wings said, his bosses have his back on this. They say the accuser came to them back in June. They took immediate action, meeting with and communicating with him several times. They asked the accuser to produce evidence, which he never did. Ultimately, they concluded that there was no basis for the accusations. They did, however, discipline Kevin because during their investigation, they determined that he had, quote, violated company policy regarding internet usage, as Hot Wings said. So the accuser got a lawyer, and it's the firm that represented one of the victims of former Penn State coach,
of course,
Jerry Sandusky.
Yes.
They say the Sesame Workshop is trying to discredit the victim in order to protect its employee and the image of one of its most valuable characters.
Oh, not out of the question.
No, it's not out of the question.
No, money makes people do crazy things.
Look at the Boy Scouts, that disgusting organization.
Yeah, because, it came up in the election where, I want to shut down Big Bird or whatever. But, man, regardless of PBS, Sesame Street is a money juggernaut.
Yeah, all those toys.
Oh my God. There's so much merchandising, and now they're associated with the Disney Corporation, and there's big money involved here, so it's not impossible.
It would not be the first time that someone put money ahead of children. We need look no further than the examples cited. Penn State, that was another example.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it happens all the time.
Now, the thing is, I think if he's found guilty, it will not be the end of Elmo, though. That's my personal opinion. They will forge ahead. There is too much money involved with that character.
Maybe.
Yeah, they'll just find somebody else to do it because kids don't associate it, and most adults wouldn't associate this either. They'll see the headline, but then this will go away, and they'll just continue printing money with that character.
I don't know, man. I think that there could be such serious backlash for this because that would be such a terrible thing because Elmo will then always be equated with what happened.
I think the market will determine.
That scared the hell out of me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That scared my pants off.
I think the market may end it. They may try, but I'm with you. I think it would be
a good move for them to say, no, well, Elmo's got to go, man. This is not going to be, we're going to have to come up with a different character. Didn't they have one character that was like an AIDS victim one time? Sesame Street?
I think there was some.
And was it in another country?
I hope so.
I think it was another country, and I think it was a short-lived thing. Well, because they had AIDS. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that if you pulled his string, he would.
As I've said before, I've got full-blown AIDS.
It's not a very funny character.
Yeah, he
sounds very gruff.
Yeah.
I've contracted AIDS. I'm riddled with it.
The Sesame Street was also accused of, quote, placing a greater value on a puppet than the well-being of a young man.
Yes, that's appropriate, I think.
And it's certainly possible that happened. It's also possible that somebody saw something like the Sandusky case and said, hey, listen, I know how this goes, and I can make this allegation, and I can then immediately say they're putting money above children, because that's exactly what happened. This would be basically a mirror version of that case, so
these things
it's not out of the question that it's complete BS.
So difficult, because they said, well, the young man could provide no evidence. What evidence would you have? Well, when you were 25, and you guys had,
what evidence did they have against Jerry?
You had girlfriend. Well,
they had basically testimony,
numerous witnesses, and then But if all this guy has, like when you were 25, if somebody said, "Did you date a girl when you were 16?" and you said, "Yeah," what proof would you have? I don't know. A photo of us together.
Well, I think there's so much better ways to get information now than there was, when we were at those ages. Now, you've got all those email trails and everything. Even if they've been deleted, they can retrieve them. And so, it seems like it wouldn't be out of the question that they would be able to. That doesn't prove that you had sex, but if one of the emails says something about, there being sexual relations or something, then obviously that's a pretty hot smoking gun.
I'd be anxious to find out what the Children's Television Workshop finds out about this guy and what I need to hear what he was looking at with that inappropriate computer usage. If that's learned, that they were like, okay, this is a real red flag, and we've done nothing, then you have another cover-up.
Yeah. Of course, that could just mean he was using it to email personal stuff that wasn't at all dirty, just
go ahead and provide that. They might have to be, what exactly was going on there? You've said something in a vague way. Now, can you follow up? So it's probably not a problem, but just for your own sake, you're going to need to clear that up.
And either way, it just looks terrible. 45 and 18? Or 47 and 18, whatever the separation was.
Yeah, exactly.
16.
Even if he was
16 and...
Well, if you take his word that he followed through and it was two consenting adults. All right, well, you're a 45-year-old man that... was lying in wait for the kid to turn.
Yeah, it's
still gross. Do you think he did it? Freebird, do you think he did it? Do you think he's a creeper? An underage child?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Okay, not sure. Hot Wings? Yes, no, maybe. You got a maybe.
Even though no evidence, yes, I think he's guilty.
I agree. Joe, guilty, not guilty?
Guilty of being a creeper. I don't know if he did anything.
You're a maybe.
Oh, he's definitely a creeper.
Steve?
Not guilty.
Not guilty, 2 maybes, and guilty. Couldn't be more.
Yeah. If the question is he a creeper, I think we're 5 yeses.
Yeah, because
did he do something illegal?
Yeah.
Don't know.
47 and 18
not a creeper.
make you a creeper.
Not a creeper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think he's guilty?
He's
but not
guilty, and that is just sexy.
That's a...
I mean, sometimes a middle-aged man just needs a twink.
You know, that's true.
I mean, sometimes.
Never mind, he's not a creeper. The kid's 18.
He is full of sexiness.
Yeah.
That is a sexy, robust man.
He looks good for 50.
If you're 18.
He almost looks 18. There's nothing creepy about 47 and 18 if you've just got to get some twink.
Some people like wrinkled balls.
Sometimes young guys like the ones they're seeing to hang just a little lower.
Joe, I'm glad you say that because lately I've been noticing my balls lately, and they're hanging very low.
Yeah.
I think I'm right in that zone where they're really going to start to sag.
Well, they will.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's there now, Joe.
You might get to the point where you start getting a stomach ache when you go running.
They look like Felix Baumgartner's space jump balloon before it started to really expand, but just hanging down.
Hanging upside down.
I'm with you. I'm only 30. I have low balls.
Well, yours are going to be
Joe,
really
I'm really
low.
self-conscious of my low balls.
I thought about looking into surgery.
I'm with you, man.
Doctor, could you take my balls up?
I could use a ball tuck.
I need to decrease my sack. Too much sack.
We'll have to look into that. Is that covered on our medical?
Daddy, what'd you talk about on the radio today? 10-year-old Madison, my balls are too low.
Yep.
I have low-hanging fruit.
On the way next, all of what we've done is still better than what General Petraeus and his friend did. Things are not working out for the... This is a weird story, man. There are a lot of layers.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that we're just seeing...
This is the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show with Eric Zane.
My mom needed extra money, so she had to work the overnight job, so I had to stay home alone.
Yeah. She had to put a smile on Chunky's face.
Her overnight job sucks. Her overnight job. Red light district.
So desensitized.
I gotta put this thing to work somehow. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I have a mitt and a purse, and they're both empty.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm willing to fill one to fill the other.
Now, back to the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane, your 3 hosts, Joe and Steve here. We'll get to the latest in the General Petraeus scandal, although I think it's going to need more names added to it.
It's very confusing.
I don't know.
There are more and more layers being added in a number of strange ways.
We'll probably need your help on this, so you can give us info that may fall through the cracks amongst us. But I wanted to share an email about Kevin Clash and Elmo. From the last segment, we talked about how he has admitted that he had a sexual relationship with an 18-year-old boy. And the boy that was involved, when he was 45, by the way, the boy said it started when he was 16 in Sesame Street, and Clash, the voice of Elmo, denied that. We got this email from Frank in Albany. If Kevin Clash had a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old boy, that is not pedophilia. Pedophilia is a sexual attraction to prepubescent boys, and it drives me crazy that people use the term pedophile for anyone who has sex with anyone under the age of consent, which is 16 to 18, depending on which state. Which, if he was in one of the 30 states where it is legal to have a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old, it would barely be an issue on the legal grounds. But on the moral grounds, some 40-year-old hooking up with a 16-year-old. Depending on which state it occurred, it depends on the crime, but it's not pedophilia.
Pedophile lover.
Yep, that sounds like an email sent by somebody who has had relations with a 16 to 18-year-old.
It is. Hi. What did you say his first name was on the email? You already said it, didn't
Frank.
you? Frank. Was it Frank?
It was.
Frank wants to make sure that we understand that he is not attracted to prepubescents, but only 16 to 18.
Yes. Frank, call us up and tell us about all your sexual relationships with 16-year-old boys.
I can't be positive.
Or girls.
But that reads like he cut and pasted it right from the NAMBLA website.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize we had a creeper that listens to our show.
It should be fair. Yeah. Technically, Frank may be absolutely correct. He's probably right in defining
He probably is. I mean, there is certainly a difference between the way a 17-year-old might look versus the way a 10-year-old might look. I mean, granted. Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Frank,
but that still doesn't mean you're not a little bit of a creeper.
Frank, you call him what you want to call him. We'll call him creeper pedophile. Mm-hmm. You call him fellow NAMBLA member. Mm-hmm. That's what will happen here. Okay? You filthy idiot. Gee. Oh, this sucks.
Well, so General David Petraeus, I don't think it's out of the question to think that if things had gone differently, if the last week and a half didn't happen and the investigation that is still ongoing wasn't going on, I don't think it was impossible to think, as he had moved up from being the head of the war in Afghanistan on to being the director of the CIA, that someday he would have been a vice presidential candidate or maybe a presidential candidate.
Well, yeah, it's not out of the question. I mean, certainly a lot of generals have gone on to become a president. I know that the current Call of Duty game, according to news reports that I saw today, actually had him, because it's set in the future, as the Secretary of Defense.
Really? Yeah.
In the game.
Also a very likely position for him.
I mean, for sure.
So, wait a minute. The guy, Petraeus' face is actually in the game?
Yeah.
Do you think he was paid for that? He had to have been.
I don't know. I assume so. I don't know how games work that way, but
we're going to need that
incredible timing.
We're going to need that money back.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He might need that for a while.
The story came out. He stepped down on Friday, or his resignation was accepted on Friday, General Petraeus, because it was found out that he was having an affair with this woman. Is it Paula Broadwell, who was the author of his biography. And they are both married. He for 37 years. His wife is described as beyond furious. By the way, my wife asked me a question that I realized I didn't really know the answer for. He did commit adultery. He did admit to that.
Yeah.
Why did he have to resign if he was effective at his job?
Well,
what is I think I know.
Well, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, he chose to resign. Now they may have put pressure on him to resign, but part of it was that there was and still is some question about whether or not he shared any sensitive information as the director of the CIA.
And then didn't you guys also indicate that it just looks terrible because he so vilified several other...
Yeah, and I think that's why he stepped down so quickly. He realized, he wasn't going to be effective.
He had no credibility.
He immediately had no credibility in one of the most powerful positions in the world as director of the Central Intelligence Agency.
Yeah.
So he chose to step down.
Yeah, you guys told me this information yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I actually asked you that. That's where I got it from. I got it from you two.
Well, that's what I told her, but specifically, there's not like you can't do that.
Absolutely
He did not violate anything specific. It's just, it looks and it smells terrible.
Yeah, he actually... he did something unethical and followed it up by something that would be considered kind of ethical, unlike most politicians who get caught doing this and dig their heels in and say, I'm staying. And you go, oh, God, of course you are.
Yeah.
So at least he did the honorable thing following up his dishonorable thing.
And I don't know what the hell the situation is with these two, with Petraeus and the chick. I don't know if they just are fixing their relationships. Is this because
the relationship I think we had read yesterday ended back in March, which was about the time that Broadwell sent angry emails to this other woman in Florida who now is dragged into the next layer of the story, which we'll get to.
Okay. But here now, this is what you wanted to. This is what we're focusing on here. This is that ABC News Now report about General John Allen.
Yeah,
the next guy involved.
Yeah.
We begin with the breaking news now that the top U.S. military commander in Afghanistan is now also caught up in the Petraeus scandal. General John Allen is being investigated by the Pentagon now for sending thousands of improper emails to Jill Kelly. She is, of course, the whistleblower in this case.
She is the Florida woman who triggered an investigation which ultimately forced Petraeus to resign. Now, defense officials would not discuss the nature of the relationship between General Allen and Jill Kelly, but some 20 to 30,000 documents dating back to, I believe, 2010 involving inappropriate communications between General Allen and an individual. This said individual was Jill Kelly.
All right, so now we're seeing all of this play out on email. You first had the emails from the mistress Paula to Petraeus. That's what led to this. Now another very high-ranking military official accused of sending emails also to the woman, the whistleblower in this case, who allegedly is just a family friend of the Petraeuses. And as you said, some could be inappropriate here. So this obviously will be the huge story of this morning. What exactly were in those emails, why so many, and what did they contain?
Yeah, and General Allen was up for nomination, pending nomination to be the commander of the United States European Command and Supreme Allied Commander. But the Secretary and the President have asked for that nomination to be put on hold while an investigation.
Okay, now I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this. This woman was a friend of the Petraeus family.
The one in Tampa.
Yes. And she had a relationship electronically, supposedly, with a different high-ranking military official.
Yes, the one who replaced General Petraeus in Afghanistan.
So why did Broadwell reach out to her?
As far as I know, we don't know officially yet.
So Broadwell sends
makes you wonder
nasty email to mistress who is having a relationship, apparently, with guy in Afghanistan.
I don't think she knew that. I think
you don't think she knew what? You don't think
I'm not positive that Broadwell knew that Kelly had any kind of communication with his other general over in Afghanistan.
Right. You think it might be coincidence?
I think it's coincidence as they started looking into this that Broadwell initially sent the emails because she probably looked at Kelly as a threat. Because one of the things that I'm looking at, because then there's a weird FBI twist to this too. One of the things, it says the Wall Street Journal reports that the emails, which the FBI quickly traced to several accounts owned by Broadwell, were sent to an account shared by Kelly and her husband. One asked if Miss Kelly's husband was aware of her actions, according to the officials, and another, the anonymous writer, claimed to have watched Miss Kelly. Somebody's take on it said it was like a cat fight stuff, like, who do you think you are? You a parade around the base, take it down a notch. Because this chick was an unpaid person that would organize these events for the military base and all that. This Kelly.
Wow.
And I'm trying to find. It said somebody from the Daily Beast referred to this. Said Broadwell may have viewed the curvaceous Kelly as a threat. Broadwell may be able to run a 6-minute mile with Petraeus, but Kelly looks like a woman who lets the guys do all the running in her direction.
Jeez. Well, I think what we're going to ultimately learn
that's
here.
True.
I think what's going to happen is, in due time, we will find out that there is a gigantic general civilian swingers club where
maybe
people.
I don't think that's out of the question.
I'm not just saying that.
No, I think
there's
you're right.
A military civilian type of thing going on where it's a group deal, and then they sit around and they have sex with General Patton's corpse.
Yeah. I was with you for most of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if not, it's a pretty terribly amazing coincidence the way it worked out.
And his low balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very strange thing. And then there's the FBI twist. This was from Gawker this morning, who took it from the Wall Street Journal. It says, in a strange new twist to the ongoing Petraeus scandal, it turns out the FBI agent who started the investigation sent topless photos of himself to Jill Kelly, Petraeus' alleged other woman. Or other woman.
She's like a Bull Durham type of character for high-ranking government figures.
So it would seem that's why it lends credence to Broadwell looking at this woman as a threat, because apparently she's out there, or encourages
That's
this
what's
kind of
happening
stuff.
here.
It says the agent in question was apparently a friend of Kelly's, and the person she turned to after she received the threatening emails from Paula Broadwell, Petraeus' first mistress.
What's Kelly's first name? I got to see what this chick looks like.
Jill.
If you get described described as curvaceous, and all the boys are running towards you.
She's okay, but, I guess for that group, maybe on a base, she's hot stuff.
Yeah.
According to the Wall Street Journal, the agent then referred the case to a cyber crimes unit, which began an investigation. That wasn't enough for the agent, who reportedly grew obsessed with the case, so much so that he sent shirtless photos of himself to Kelly. The agent was eventually banned from the case by his superiors, but that didn't stop him. He soon notified a member of Congress, Washington Representative David Reichert, because he feared the case would be ignored. The information was then relayed to FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C., so that's just one part of the craziness. The summation, it says, in conclusion, and this, again, hasn't added the wrinkle of this new general into the whole mix, but it says, a woman having an affair with the director of the CIA sent threatening emails to another woman she thought might be having an affair with the same CIA director, and then that woman reported the emails to an FBI agent who became obsessed and sent her harassing emails of his own, including some which he was not wearing a shirt. This is officially some next level S.
All right,
Sure
I can
is.
see how she could. Okay, she's one of these half-chunked chicks who at one point was super hot, or maybe. But, maybe one too many trips to Old Country Buffet, followed by a makeover, has left her with some zucchini boobs.
But she might have an air of sexiness to her.
Plus,
for
look at
middle-aged men.
Look at the guys that,
they're older dudes.
Did you see General Petraeus' wife? I hate to pile on her.
Look at those. Look what she's wearing.
No offense, but
and look at that
she
haircut.
looks like she's a 60-year-old lady.
That lady, the other lady, is super hot compared to her.
She looks like, my old home economics teacher who used, paper plates for bras.
Is that right?
Paper plates and duct tape.
Steve in Grand Rapids, welcome. Go ahead.
Hey, last night there was a commentary that they interviewed a former CIA agent and said it's not uncommon for guys at that level to have mistresses, which doesn't make it all right. But his theory was that and proof that General Petraeus was the one taking a personal investigation into the Benghazi attacks, and that he was doing a good job in uncovering the truth behind that, and that's why he was targeted with all the scandal and forced to resign, because he was getting to the truth of what was happening behind the Benghazi ambassador.
Maybe.
Yeah, but according to something I heard yesterday, Senator Dianne Feinstein actually said he is still likely to testify in those hearings.
Yeah, that because he would still have the knowledge. They didn't take away the knowledge.
Yeah. So, some have said, well, now because he'll technically be a civilian, he won't have to testify. And I don't know the ins and outs of government function, but
yeah, I don't know that they are not connected. But I see a lot of people jumping to that conclusion. Oh, this is all a political landslide that's happening. Maybe not.
I like the theory that there was a big general groupthink.
If the general didn't dip the wick, none of this would be happening.
If he went home to his hot wife, it would have been all okay.
Yeah, that's what should have happened. But sometimes it just doesn't. They've got a swingers club.
Nicole in Knoxville. Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
What do you say?
Hello?
Yep.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I want to hear this point.
So MSNBC yesterday said that the reason this Broadwell woman sent emails to Jill Kelly was because she was a perceived threat, and it was sort of reminiscent of the whole the NASA one driving to Florida in a diaper, minus the diaper and shovel.
Yes,
and
maybe.
That the Jill Kelly woman supposedly is not a threat at all to this relationship with Petraeus. They also said that Petraeus was encouraged to resign because there's questions as to whether or not he was in this relationship with this woman while in the military still, and that is actually illegal because it's against military code, and he can be prosecuted by the military for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is what a mess, though. Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, and supposedly this started after he was already not.
What about the group sex with General Patton's body?
Last September. Yeah, I don't know about the group sex with Patton's body yet.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still awaiting info on that. Digging a little deeper for that deal.
The real loser is Patton and his body. That is not a good way to rest in peace.
But maybe that's the kind of thing he would have been into.
Don't you kind of think there's going to be even more? I really do believe that this is the tip of the iceberg.
I do, too.
I think it's because it would be fun.
Barely
for that to
any
be the case.
digging, another guy gets drug into it.
Yeah, I mean, you've already got You know, where this started is just one scorned woman against some other lady.
For some weird reason.
For some weird reason of jealousy, apparently. You got a general drug into it that no one had a clue. He was just he was involved, but in what was going on, technically an innocent bystander that all this was found out. Now you got another general. You got this weird FBI agent that went all cuckoo about the whole thing.
You have a husband in Tampa who either knew his wife was a skank for the U.S. Armed Forces, or today he's going, I thought she was hot for me.
See, I bet he's not, though. I bet this guy, he's one of those, this gives him access to power. I bet they are swingers.
Yeah. And he probably
this is
runs
a
a
Bubba the
website.
Love Sponge type deal, man.
GeneralsBangMyWife.com. See if he's on there, Joe.
Yeah, see if he's on GeneralsBangMyWife.com.
With a donkey.
Mike in Lewisburg, Tennessee, writes, during lunch yesterday, my coworkers with prior security clearance mentioned that adultery and even divorce often nullifies security clearance because it compromises you. He points out it is highly unlikely that he did not resign because of politics. It says he would have been fired otherwise or lost his clearance, which you can't do your job without that clearance. That makes sense if all of a sudden you have a major life change. They don't want any reason for you to give
What a mess. Way to go.
What Hot Wings thinks on the way in the next segment. What's your topic, Hot Wings?
It's about ramped up secession talk.
Okay.
Ooh, like leaving the Union?
Yes.
Here in the United States?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I can't wait. It seems like it gets ramped up about, I don't know, like this weirdly every 4 years-ish kind of thing.
It's a specific state that's doing it.
It's several states.
Really?
Several states.
Is the Upper Peninsula of Michigan again working its way into this argument? Because I want it to go.
No, because they didn't want to secede from the Union, I don't think. They wanted to secede from the state.
They want to be number 51.
They want to be another state, which is good. I would like to see a 51st
fine.
state.
I mean, I don't mind that.
They want to leave the United States of America, you're claiming.
Yes.
Or they're claiming.
And there is a provision to petition for this type of thing. The government website has one.
Well, sweet Puerto Rico voted to come in, so we don't have to change the flag.
Oh, we need
Take one and give one up.
Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Free Beer, Hot Wings, and Eric Zane. Looking forward to what Hot Wings thinks. I'm curious to know which states are trying to leave the country.
It's a lot.
Well, I know of one of them because we got an email from somebody who signed one of the petitions for his state in Indiana.
I want out.
Yeah. Said they need 25,000 signatures in Indiana to make it happen.
In a 30-day window, yes.
Does that putting you on a ballot then? Or
well,
does that mean you're done?
No, that's enough where then the current administration has to respond.
The current administration of the state?
Of the United States.
Okay.
So President Obama, in this case, would actually have to respond. But his response, obviously, would probably be no.
What's their motivation for wanting to leave? Do you know? Have you heard anything? Has anyone heard?
They don't think that the government is currently representing them properly.
Oh, so it's that cut and dry. It isn't anything.
Yeah. They're
just
referencing
overall.
the Declaration of Independence, which
they think
you can't really argue with the wording that is taken directly from the Declaration.
Can you imagine though if they do get it, they get the right pocket of people, and then the country says, like our government says, all right, go for it, and now they have to go and basically. There's a lot that would go into making your own country.
You have to get a passport to drive on I-80 through Indiana.
Oh, man. We would just have to take it over.
It's like
we'd have to invade.
The idea of that, though, I mean, I wonder how plausible it really is, because you'd hear about that from time to time with Quebec wanting to leave Canada, but they have a decent-sized economy. But like that guy, I'm just using Indiana as an example. He said they want to secede, and he signed the thing. Does Indiana have an economy that would support itself? Would you be importing everything? They'd have plenty of grain and...
I don't know.
I will do my best to break that down.
You're going to break it down? Are we stepping on your toes here? A little?
I will get... put it this way. I think one state could pull it off.
Okay. Well, the one with the burner, Mike Turner in it, has got to be it.
It's not.
For God's sake.
That's not the one.
Well, then you better add it, because that guy's a get-it-done guy. The burner Mike Turner on Rock 98.5.
Indiana, excellent state. I do not think that they are the one.
The burner could go around door to door and give his $1 million handshake to people.
One up, one down. We're a country.
No nonsense.
The Burner. Mike in the morning, in the afternoon.
So we mentioned General Petraeus and Paula Broadwell. Paula Broadwell had been on The Daily Show a number of times. I believe General Petraeus has been on there as well. And Jon Stewart talked about the fact that he was a terrible journalist for not being able to pick up the obvious clues.
The whole thing was like innuendo after innuendo, and the whole time I'm like, nah. I didn't pick up on it. I had it right there talking about how thick a coat of awesome sauce Petraeus is bathed in. This thing never crossed my mind. The whole time, I was just staring at how defined her arms were and trying to think of another version of one of my classic I'm an asthmatic old Jew jokes. I am the worst journalist in the world. For God's sakes, the title of her book was All In. You're not even trying to hide it. She might as well call the book What's Got Two Thumbs and Is Banging His Biographer. This guy.
Now, right above that one is a clip where they, by simply adding some bleeps to her interview on The Daily Show, change the meaning a little.
Okay.
This is a typical mechanism he uses to get to know young people. He's done it throughout his life. So it was an opportunity for me to him, and I think it was, I thought I'd him, but he was going to me, and we both pretty quickly. But that was the foundation of our relationship. For him, I think it was a good distraction from the war, and of course, he's a bit concerned as someone in his position would be about legacy, and he also, he was, happy to as he did with many other young students.
Wow, he had a lot of them.
This is a typical mechanism he uses to get to know young people. He's done it throughout his life. So it was an opportunity for me to him, and I think it was, I thought I'd him, but he was going to me, and we both pretty quickly. But that was
That's good. You're a good girl.
Wow. That was really something.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know, man. I love it.
That was awesome.
Scandals are fun. When you're not involved, they really are. I mean, it's horribly sad. I get that. But the fact of the matter is, it's fun to look up Jill Kelly and see what she looks like. And find out that there's a porn star named Jill Kelly that's not the same woman.
Yeah, I mean,
people are very disappointed by the way that it's not.
It's no different than how it was with Tiger Woods or anybody else. Yeah, you want to see, all right, who managed to do this?
Please let there be a voicemail.
Who did they cheat on with?
Oh, that was incredible.
Can there be a voicemail of David Petraeus asking Paula Broadwell to take her name off her phone, please?
Yeah, oh, boy.
Please?
Oh, can we please auto-tune David Petraeus? That would be terrific.
Got an email from Mike Turner.
Here's what Hot Wings thinks.
He said he's leading the revolution.
Wow.
What Hot Wings thinks.
It's Burnerville.
Burnerville? Well, I might have to revise some of this, but maybe that's tomorrow.
Okay, Hot Wings.
All right. Free Beer Zane listeners. Now, there are a lot of actions that seem to take place around every election. About every 4 years, these types of things seem to rear up, and one of those actions involve petitioning the government for their individual states to secede from the Union. We want out, says some group or another. And on the surface, it's easy to think that this is the dumbest thing we've ever heard. Like since the last time we heard Whoopi Goldberg try to make a point about something. But at the same time, I kind of get it. According to Gawker, residents in at least 19 states have put up petitions on the government's own We the People website, petitioning the website seeking the right to secede from the rest of the country. Right. According to the We the People website, petitions that get 25,000 signatures within a 30-day period require a response from the president. He has to respond.
Wow.
He'll probably say no, but he still has to respond. He has to give them some credibility. So far, here are the states, and I think I've got all of them. Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, Kentucky, Montana, North Dakota, North Carolina, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, New York, New Jersey, Colorado, Arkansas, South Carolina, and Missouri. No surprise, Texas has already gotten enough. And I think they're about the only state that could pull it off, based on size and economic diversity and general kick-assedness. There's just something about Texas. Mm-hmm. They're already part of America, but sort of their own thing anyway. So I think they could pull it off. Most other states, you are out of your minds. Take Florida, for instance. No offense, Florida, but you are way too crazy, and I don't think your economy alone is enough to pay for all of your yearly hurricane and wildfire cleanups. Not to mention 90% of your population pays no taxes because they're super old. Frankly, I think America would be better off without Florida, but Florida would definitely not be better off without the U.S. and all of the support. The secessionists are citing the Declaration of Independence, which says that it is the right of the people to form a new government when the current one is not respecting the consent of the governed. Well, I can't really argue with that. Again, as it pertains to Texas. Mississippi, please. The number one industry in Mississippi is receiving federal aid. What are you going to do by leaving? Yeah. You will literally have nothing. Maybe a few tourism dollars, and that's about it. Now, I enjoy the idea of secession. It's fun to talk about, but it's not ever going to happen. Except maybe with Texas. There could be someday where I visit the country of Texas. And it's possible. I'm Hot Wings, and that's what I think.
That's your new opinion from Hot Wings. More of the... Email the show, idiots@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Hey, buddy.
Surprise, mama.
She's a babe.
Hey.
She is.
Surprise.
I like the Russian. Like a sweet accent.
Guess who brought a jet to a gun?
Robert Downey Jr. Color.
Incoming.
Boom! Come on, man.
Surprise, boys.
Surprise, horse lady. Not good.
Call of Duty Black Ops 2 hit the stores last night at midnight. Or this morning at 12:01, I guess.
Yeah, my son, he was one of the nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Getting it. He spent a lot of time and effort and money getting this game.
Yeah. And they expect it to be the biggest selling game of the year.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah. Hey, honey, is he awake yet, Diana?
No, he is not.
Okay, so when I woke you up this morning, you thought he was going to just get the game and go to bed like I thought, right?
Right.
But he stayed up all night playing it.
He did.
Okay, that makes sense because why would he wait in line to just, he could have gotten it after school then if he would have.
Yeah. Exactly.
But we didn't figure that out. So some kid spent the night at our house playing this damn game all night long. And there he was in the same clothes he was, hanging out in yesterday, playing this damn video game in the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's going to school late.
Yep.
Okay. Do you have what I suggested you get off the air, ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
A cookie sheet and spoon. Wooden spoon.
You're going to hold the phone up to your chin and bang it as hard as you can as you run down the steps screaming at the top of your lungs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell him it's time to get up for school, And scream as loud. Make a lot of noise.
You ready right now?
Yeah. Go. Take your little feet and run down the steps.
Jim! Jim! You have to get up.
Put him on the phone.
Yeah.
Is his friend still there? Probably sleeping nude.
Yeah.
Oh no, your mom.
Jim, is Corey still there?
Yeah, Corey's here.
Is he bumming?
No, Corey's fine.
Okay. So you're up now, ready to go. You played the game all night, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when I woke up for work, the one thing you said to me was, Dad, man, wait till I tell you about all these nerds, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Hot Wings has an opinion about that. Hot Wings, what did you say earlier in the show about this exact thing when Jim said that to me?
I have bad news. You were there. You're one of them.
Well, no, these guys are different, like beyond different.
Yeah.
I went to get my ticket number, and there was kids already waiting there. There's people playing their Game Boys in line.
What did you do in line?
Sat there and waited.
I think they are actually better nerds than you.
Yeah, at least they brought something to do.
I was there for 20 minutes. There was people that were waiting there for like 3 hours.
Well, that is ridiculous.
Just their ticket number.
Okay. Well, yeah, but you got your ticket right at like 5 in the afternoon.
Well, I got there like at 5:30, and they start giving them out at 6. So I was there for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
And I went
to hockey, came back.
Yep.
So this is a uniting of non-athletic nerds and athletic nerds. Then two of just many from different walks of life. Did you have any adults there? What like older guys, Jim?
Oh yeah.
In line.
There was guys with their wives there, and to get the game and.
Guys with their wives.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
Now that's a whole different
on TV.
kind of
it was everybody. It was a wide cross section of humanity.
This is where we got married the last time the game came out.
I take it back. It was a wide cross section of white people.
Did anybody resemble your old man?
Not one person.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a cutoff for old.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How old do you think the oldest person was waiting in line?
I'd say like 45 years old.
Okay. I believe it.
Well, that means I look older than I'm 45. Yeah. Thank you for that.
That is the implication that was going on.
That was an unfortunate.
So, Jim, gameplay. Is this different? How is it from the other game? Is it like a million times better? I mean, how would a nerd like you be able to...
yeah, it's just a big step up. It's just a lot better and more fun. Not as boring.
Really? Okay. All right. Anything in particular that you like about it that other nerds will be able to relate to?
It goes faster. It's not as slow and boring.
Okay.
Okay. So that's is that the tagline for the game Call of Duty Black Ops? Not as boring.
Not as boring as the one that sold 1 billion copies last time.
Not as boring. So would you have described the last Call of Duty as boring? Is that what you would have called it?
It got boring a lot. Really fast. If
it was so boring, why were you so excited for this one?
So did it go like this? Hey, Dad, do you mind if I stay up all night and play a game that was so boring that I can't wait to get a different one that's slightly better? Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
Now, Jim, I loaned you $60. You got my change, right? Because I gave you $80.
Yeah.
You got how much change total?
20.
Okay. Now, did I mention to you that on that loan, Hot Wings convinced me to charge you 8% interest compounded weekly? Are you aware of how compounded interest works?
It keeps building up every week if I don't pay it back.
So basically your $10 turns into $6 that you pay me back, at least initially.
Okay.
So that $60 game is probably going to cost you $100.
Okay.
No, don't take that so easily. I'm not really going to do that to you because that's what Grandma Bernie does to me. And the cycle of hate ends.
I'm not going to not listen to you. I mean, you can't say no. I'm not going to do it.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy, Jim. I'll give you that. No, don't worry about that. You're just going to give me your $60. You'll pay me back over like 50 weeks.
Okay.
Jim, we got an email supporting your theory that you are not the same type of video game nerd as the other people in line. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, I would.
Seamus in Portland, Maine writes, Jim is right. I am a big-time video game player, but there are tiers of gamers. Jim sounds like a jock nerd. He gets the big-ticket blockbuster titles like Halo 4, Call of Duty, Madden, if he's black, which from the sound of his voice he is. I had no idea.
Okay.
I guess I'm black, too.
Yeah.
He writes, there are also a lot of sweaty, greasy, weird nerds that were there as well with Jim, and in other situations Jim would get as far away from them as possible.
Okay.
He seems to be different from the Nosferatu-like chuds that lurk out buying this game.
That's sweet reference, man.
Yeah.
That is a good one.
So that is good news. So Jim, you are not a Nosferatu-like chud.
Yeah.
Good.
Congratulations.
That's a win.
Feel a lot better.
All right.
Bummer for the vampire chuds who are listening and we're going, aw.
Jim, what classes are you blowing off? Announce on the radio which ones you're missing today because of your all-night video game engagement.
Just the first couple hours.
What is that, poetry?
Yeah.
What else?
Modern lit.
All right. Yeah. Well,
Can
great.
you read us some of your poems?
Oh, you should hear these things, man. He's actually good.
Yeah, you can
got
stay
an
home
A in
from
poetry.
school, but we get your poetry book.
All right, Jim, you're gonna have to make it up to those teachers. They don't like that business. Their class lessons getting second banana to your leisure time. So you're gonna have to come up with some type of explanation. You're on your own, is what I'm saying, man.
I know, I got it. I already got it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right, buddy.
Thank you, Jim.
All right.
Okay,
All
see
right,
ya.
man. See you later.
Wow. That is funny. That is good stuff, man.
Every once in a while, my parents would let me do stuff like that, where you blow off a little school.
I used to just call myself in.
You did?
Because I was getting myself... My mom would be off to work, and I would just call and say, yeah, Eric's going to be late today. Okay, Mr. Z. Thank you.
Man, I never missed a day of school unless I was sick or going to a funeral.
Did you have a family member home, though, that was at your home when you were going to school?
Yeah, my mom was usually at home.
That's the difference. That's the great key. That's Joe. Did you do that too? Because that's one of the benefits of having like a parent, only one parent there.
I would call my friends in. My friends would call me in.
Okay.
It was genius.
That's like a network.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have any friends, so.
Zane would call and go, hey, this is Eric's stepdad, Bert Jewelry.
Bert Jewelry.
Bert, he's not coming to school.
So lonely in high school.
This is King of Diamonds.
Man, I was so alone.
That's my dad. Greatest American hero.
I hated growing up, man. That was such a bummer.
This is new daddy.
You have not heard my voice before.
I'll never forget the first time I caught my mom making out with a guy that was not my dad. I did not. Come around the corner and there she is mashing with this guy named Rick. The butcher. I told you that story once.
It's like the Brady
That
Bunch.
effing butcher.
She's dating a butcher.
Well, he thinks he's all hot ass because he brings over ribeyes for everybody. And he's like, I just prime cuts. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Whatever, I guess. The guy didn't even wait till we go to bed before he starts macking on my mom.
Hey, you eat this prime rib. Your mom's having sausage.
You ever seen something as fancy as this?
Hey, kid. If you like meat, I'm your guy. And I also, you might be impressed by this, have a Lincoln Zephyr. I call it the Zap. For no good reason.
We'll get to what have we learned in a moment. Some small companies think that leasing a postage meter is how businesses get postage for their letters and packages. But what they don't realize is that there is a better way. We use it. Don't let us be smarter than you. Use Stamps.com.
Yeah, unlike a postage meter, Stamps.com has no hidden fees like meter ink charges or reset fees. There's no long-term contracts. You can use it or not use it whenever you want. No extra hardware to buy or lease. Stamps.com can save you up to 80% compared to a postage meter, and saving money is generally what you want with a small business. Plus, with Stamps.com, you can do more than you can with a meter. Use your existing address books, use tracking information. You can send that to recipients with a click of a button. Stamps.com just simply offers way more features at a fraction of the cost.
You save that money, you got extra cash to buy all your dumb video games. Like the new Call of Duty game or something like that. Use our promo code FREEBEER for even more savings. It's a special offer that we have set up for you. That is a no-risk trial, which includes a $110 bonus offer. We'll send you a digital scale, and we'll send you $55 in free postage. And all you have to do is use the code FREEBEER at Stamps.com. Click on the radio microphone at the top of the homepage, and then do that. Type in FREEBEER. Stamps.com, enter FREEBEER for that special deal.
Steve, what did you learn today?
I learned that a woman with a possessed toaster responded to a wanted ad titled "Wanted, Fat Actress."
Joe?
I learned that some guys like hairless twinks and some guys like long balls.
Eric Zane.
I learned that it's not okay to shove a 13-year-old football player when he approaches the sidelines.
Wings?
I learned that the dumbest racist in America is not a racist because she has like 4 friends that are of different descent.
Seamus learned that dumping animal fat onto the ground is a great way to give your dog a delicious lawn for Thanksgiving. I learned from Seamus that this was apparently a pedo-heavy show today.
I like Seamus.
Yeah.
Seamus, he's like a proxy or like a kind of like an electronic member of this show through his emails.
Yeah.
And we'll be visiting Portland in May. You realize that. We'll see his stupid, bald, fat face again.
Seamus is one of the ones that manages to not overdo it, but is still regularly present.
All the rest of you are terrible. Seamus is excellent. He's in. The rest of you suck. It's Seamus and Petoskey Batman.
Yeah. Tomorrow, more entries for Dumber Than Zane Trivia and the draw.